Hi there. Can you hear me? I hope you can. Let me know if you can hear me. But also,
Don't subscribe, you shit.
howdy doody. How y'all doing? Sorry for the absolute dead intro. You can hear? That's great. Sorry for the dead intro. I just had to order some dessert. So that took precedence over you guys. So there's that. My hair is still wet because I exercised today, and that means that I had a shower before stream. So I need to put in some more lights. Sheesh. Hold up. All the lights. You guys saw the back of Hassan's head there. I'm prepping for my horror series, but otherwise I'm okay. You're okay? Okay is not great. We want great things. And I hope that you are going to be able to join us on Thursday. Anyway, thank you for joining me, everybody who is here. Things have slowed down lately, but that doesn't mean I have slowed down. I've still got lots of things to get through. They turn into a crown of thorns. Yeah. That's to make sure that I have bushy hair when it dries. Hey Lucy. Oh, where's my water bottle? Oh, it's here. Thank you, Daisy. Daisy brought it for me. Yes, today. 333, you're here for me today because Tuesdays Hydra's not around. Okay. Oh yeah, let me put some background music if you guys are okay with that. I won't put feeding the ducks on. Okay. Fade tracks in and out. Anyway. Cool. He does have a point. Yes, he must be there. So today what we're going to do is we're going to finish off the last of the Blaire White Destiny discussion. And then hopefully, then hopefully we can get onto some other stuff that I wanted to talk about, which was not so much just debate diagramming. It's what could we do other than debates? We can diagram anything. So I've been wanting to diagram silly things, not silly, but make diagrams. Okay, all of the diagrams I've made are absolutely unnecessary, right? But I want to make diagrams of situations and things, just topics. So one of the ones that I kept wanting to diagram was the Titan, the submersible that's imploded and things like that. You're thinking, why would you diagram? What do you mean? You're going to draw it? You're going to show where its weaknesses were? No, I mean, literally the phenomenon. What happened? We could have a little timeline in there, like there's a little section with a timeline, and then there's also just what. I just kept viewing it, seeing it in my mind's eye because I was obsessed with it for the past weekend. Just listening to videos and things about it, about all the things that they did wrong, and yeah. So I thought, let me do that. So maybe I can get that out this weekend. That would be nice. Before this weekend, maybe, because nobody's going to talk about the sub after this. So it would be a video. It would be a separate video. I was wondering if I would record that here and then just cut it, and then make a video of it. But hey, maybe it'll be good for me to be away from you guys when I'm recording something, because I'm very distracted very easily by chat, as you guys know, as you guys take advantage of, which you should continue to. Please carry on doing that. Yeah. that's just some of the stuff that I wanted. Try making diagrams of Dark Souls lore. I can't wait for Hydra's series on that, but I guess regular new stuff will do. No, anything really. I think that's cool. Even something like that would be quite an interesting thing. Even I suppose a Wheel of Time lore diagram would be good. I think that would be awesome. I just like diagrams. The diagram channel, that darn diagram. I think that's what we're going to call it, that darn diagram. You know what? I just like doing these things. So I just kept wanting to do it. And when I was watching this thing, I'm like, oh, and that would be over here, and that would be over here, and and also again, diagramming does not have to be debates. So we can do any sort of what diagram? Wheel of Time diagram? Yes, Wheel of Time diagram. That would be cool to diagram why it's so horrible. Why is the show so horrible? Okay, things like that. I'm a very chaotic person, I understand, but maybe that's why I yearn to diagram things. That's maybe why I yearn to bring structure to things, because I'm such a chaotic human. So anyway, let's get into it. So I've now started a whole new page for today, and also shout out to StreamYard for becoming our new program, because it allows us to customize our layout. So maybe, I don't know what you guys think, but I will be able to have a better sort of diagram. I'm not like tiny, but yeah, it's just a bit more customizable. So let's actually change that around. That's supposed to be over the top. Thank you. And then that, and there. Okay, so this is the new layout. Hi! And you know what? Also, because of the lovely dynamic thing, you can have 2 people or 3 people or whatever. But this is how we do. I know it's not that high definition at this point, and maybe just let me know if things are conking out, because I am using my 2 big screens, but it seemed to work last time. So yeah. Hey Jab, good to see you. Kitten Gang, hello. Ooh, okay, wrong one. I was going to say hello Patrick. Look how suave that picture is. Oh yes, Gray, I haven't watched your latest video, but it said a discussion with Vincent Martin, and then it was a picture of Patrick on it. For once you're not working on Tuesday. How is everyone? I'm great, thanks, and you? I'm back being active. I did exercise because my lovely husband got me an exercise watch for my birthday. So I'm renewed. My interest in exercise is renewed. Vinvint joined you. I'm gonna call him Vinvint now. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, I've started a new page. This is the first map that we did. I haven't changed the colors, but this is the first part of the debates. And remember, I just let it go because we wanted to get to the end of it. But the last little bit is not that long. Whatever, the last little bit is cool. It came out that week anyway, last week that we were watching, but we didn't get to it, and this is the conclusion of it. So I just want to get through that, and this is the most contentious part that they were supposed to have, and it has a good conclusion of kind of where we're at. It says a lot about where we're at politically. In political discourse, what it means to talk to each other these days. So without further ado, one of Patrick and my new show. The thumbnail could have been clearer. It could have been. It could have been because be honest is you two, both you two. Okay, yeah, and then Vinvint was a Vinvint was a guest on it. Okay. Oh yes. I will remind you guys later on in the stream, but on Thursday morning for me, 6 a.m. for me, I will be in a solo stream with MSK, also known as Master Savage, Master Swag King. He's a flippin' savage. He's MSK to me. Yeah, we're going to be in a solo stream where he asks questions and things, and we just talk shit. Yes, I'm always on there, so it's not really different, but it's supposed to be one-on-one. So yeah, that I shared that on the community tab. If you want to go and just put yourself as waiting, then you will know when that's happening. We'll really enjoy having you guys there. But either way, I'm going to be there bright and early. Yes, and yeah, I guess you'll just have to deal with me. I'm always in my PJs anyway. Oh yes, you guys have your own show that warms Patrick's black heart. Solo with MSK, interesting. Yes, it will be interesting to see if we can find a topic, because we won't be talking about Miss 1776 and booty. My wrench fell off. Oh gosh! I don't think I can wrench you from here, you know that. Put user in timeout, ban user, and I can only ban you, sorry. Hold on, let me just go to, I think the joke of not giving you your wrench has played out. So let me just give you your wrench. There you go. Can you take my old wrench back? If you bring your other account back. I mean, you can. I can go to the back end, whatever. Do it. He will still be talking about 1776. I'll probably bring it up because I want him to be worthy of her, but he's not at this point. Anyway, let's go. How would you say, yeah, your year? Okay, you see, because you said year. Okay, there, you see, yeah, your year. Because we don't say year. We don't say R's in South Africa. We say year. Year. Yeah, your year. That's what we would say. Yeah, your year. There you go. It's the one thing I had over Patrick. No, now you guys are equals. I'm back in blue wrenched, baby. Maybe I'll stop calling Andrew. Maybe I'll stop calling Patrick Andrew because of the A in his name. Now that I know he's a French person somehow. I don't know. I love the SA accent. It's so strange, isn't it? Okay, so I also was playing with the idea. Of course, shower thoughts, dudes. That's all I've been doing. Is you know what? I should just do the freaking diagram before the stream, and we can literally go through it, and I can add commentary to the diagram instead of you guys having to watch me type the thing out. But that's the point of the secondary video. The secondary video is the post stream. The stream, we do it collaboratively and we take long, and that's the whole point. The second video, the video that's supposed to come out after every stream, that doesn't. That is the part where we're supposed to go over the diagram. But does Chintzia consistently do these things? No. She does not. But one day, you guys will see. That's so smart, Kitty. Is it? We can see. Oh, what I'm interested. Hey, listen. She's well endowed now. Okay. Anyway, let's. This is the last part. So let's go. Can you guys? Wait. Is the audio on here? Oh, okay, it's on. Okay. Can you guys
I
hear
think
it?
any extent of like the
me know.
groomer discourse is valid, like from the rights perspective. Like, do you think any amount of that sort of like crusade that's happening is justified?
So did you guys hear that? Cool. So our main topic that she brought up was groomer. And her main question is that any of that valid? My answer would be yes, it is. Any of that is valid. It's of course quite dangerous to paint people with an entire community with that brush, but when you don't have loud enough voices speaking against that sort of thing, that you need more gays against groomers, that thing. You need more of that. Okay, that would make this less valid. Because I think everybody's against groomers, okay? Speaking against an actual groomer is not going to get rid of gay rights, guys. I think we can relax about that. But anyway, although they do talk about what actually does happen, what could be happening with some of such people, where they take advantage. They act like they're okay with trans people and gay people and whatever, and then actually never mind, they're full of shit and they actually hate them. So there are those people. I'll acknowledge that. Anyway, is that valid? Okay, and here is what Destiny says.
The thing is, I don't even know what the fuck groomer means anymore. What groomer used to mean was groomer is a person that abuses a position of power. Usually it's around children. And what they do is they gain the trust of a child in a non-sexual setting, and then they eventually flip that into a sexual relationship in the future. So it doesn't have to be a child. It could be that you're a 27-year-old and you're tutoring like a 19-year-old in college, and that's all you are as a tutor. You invite to your house, and one day you have drinks, and you use that position of kind of power. Or oftentimes it's with children. Nowadays, when conservatives say groomer, I don't know if they just mean like just exposing kids to like LGBT stuff. Like if I teach my son that like gay people or trans people are real, does that make me like a groomer? I'm not sure. If I take them at like the best interpretation of it, it's the idea that you're trying to make LGBT ideology so pervasive among the youth that some of them begin to identify that way, even though they wouldn't have otherwise. But that's like such a nebulous concept that it's hard to even know. It's caused us to revisit. I have a whole theory of this, but it's caused us to revisit like educating our children on what they're supposed to learn. I'm fully of the opinion, with no scientific data whatsoever, but what I feel what happened was during the COVID movement, I think that was the first time in a lot of parents' lives that they actually fucking looked at what their kids were doing for schoolwork.
Yeah.
And that's when they were like, wait a second, I don't like any of this. This is horrible. And now there's like this unprecedented scrutiny on every fucking kid's book ever. Whereas like, yeah. And again, it's also like a thing where it's so funny to see conservatives say this, because like I remember growing up in school, there were so many like defining moments.
Guys, prepare yourselves for this. Prepare for this. I was, when I heard this, I was like, I can't wait to ask chat about this. So let's see.
Not defining moments, but they're just like funny moments. Like we all had, or I don't know if this is true of everybody. Maybe I'm self-reporting it, but we all had like a creepy teacher that was like a little bit too handsy with some of the girls. It was kind of weird. We all had like that moment we were reading Huckleberry Finn. And it's like, who's going to be called upon to read the N-word passage? We all had the moments where there's just like books that we had to read that had some weird shit in them or whatever. But like, you know, you read it, you got through it, it was whatever, it was school. But now there's like this hyper scrutiny on every fucking thing. So it's funny because like in some ways conservatives will attack people on the left for being like snowflakes. And I largely agree with that. But conservatives are also largely snowflakes. So they're like, there's a book in the library where there's like a sex scene in the book. And it's like, bro, kids are finding porn when they're like 11 years old now, okay? You probably don't even monitor any of your kids' fucking internet usage anyway. And their fucking dads are probably jerking off the porn. Like, is this really the hill you're gonna die on? Is saying that like all of these books in high school libraries, like 99% of the kids aren't even checking out, are like what's rotting the children's youth. Like again, I feel like all of these things are like people don't actually feel strongly about the concepts. They're just battlegrounds that they can use to wage their like ideological conservatism versus progressivism wars, and schools are just like the new battleground for it. And then LGBT becomes like another conduit to fight through with it. But I don't know.
I think the biggest problem.
Okay, so I just wanted to know, American people, the debate volume is tad. Thank you so much for letting me know. Let's see if I can fix that. Let's see if it changes it. That's just upping my music. And let me see if I can do something with the day. This is full blast. Let's see if this changes. Let's just let me know there, Galente, if this is louder.
Problem in the schools is the fact
Did that get louder for you?
Teachers feel.
Did you hear that? Trees exist. I live in Dubai, and I don't know, man. Okay, so yeah, I will. Yeah, your destiny. It's not just sex; it's king. Yes, exactly. So I got. This is what I wanted to talk to you guys about because it's better. Okay, great. Lovely. I don't have as much control over audio as I do with OBS, so. I love that. You think Destiny talks fast because he thinks if he slows down, the bullshit will catch up to him. You know what? I think it's true. I think you are right, David, because he just talks, and you know what? It's okay when you're talking. This is the common ground place that we're playing in, right? But it's smoothing over a whole bunch of shit. Yeah. Okay. It really does. It just and he brings. Look, I really don't like how much I am like him, but he does do this at the same. He says a lot of things all at once, and says all of the things. Like, let me say all of the things because this is all the ways that I can think, guys. Okay, I can think all of these viewpoints. But yeah, at the same time, you're not really landing on anything. So I fall into that trap. So this is me calling myself out and calling him out. So we're just, I think it's because there is this thing of, I can see it that way, I can see it that way, I can see it that way, I can see it that way. So I'll just say it all of the ways that I can see it. But then also the ways that I don't want to talk about right now, I'm going to run away from them. I really do think that's what he's doing here. And I'm hoping Blaire brings it up, brings up this stuff. Destiny does this thing where he cuts off the last words of his previous sentence with the start of the next sentence. That's what I do. I do it so often. Oh my God, it annoys the fuck out of me. I don't know how you guys listen to me, but he does it. Yeah, it's because I've got a diagram of my sentence structure, and it's think of the sentence, think of how that sentence is going to be misconstrued. Oh wait, take that criticism and then walk around and get that criticism and speak, defend against that criticism. Oh shit, hold on, what point are we on now? Yeah, it is quite yeah, we talk over ourselves. I say that not like, ooh, I'm as smart as Destiny, but more like, no, it's just a thing. It's a difficult thing to overcome when you're trying to articulate yourself and your brain's just going pew, and you're like, let me try and say all the things I want to say. I want to get better at it. I would like to get better at it, and seeing how somebody else does it is helping me understand why I do it and how I do it. But yeah, it's so true. He will start his sentence, say a whole thing, but then you can see while he was thinking, while he was saying it, he was thinking. We can actually look at it right now. We'll look at see some examples of that. Andrew, I agree that they are both snowflakes to a certain extent, but that doesn't mean that we should allow sex scenes in library books just because Exactly, that's what I'm saying. He's just la 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 la, just marches over it, and you're like, dude, that's okay. Oh well, porn exists, therefore. No. I learned from my degenerate friends. I learned from TV. Anyway, let's see. I definitely had okay, so let's see some of your stories. What's Kitna and Destiny to Gorlock the Destroyer? What does Gorlock do? Awful argument. Some people may not restrict their kids. Hi, Wild Bites. Some people may not restrict their kids' devices, so why bother limiting their exposure? So you're saying, okay. No, but whose responsibility is that exposure at school? You know, at home, it's the parents, and then at school, there's a difference between them being exposed or actually literally being indoctrinated. Destiny does debate brain and can make an argument for anything. Yeah, it does. But then it happens during his argument instead of letting it slow down. The best brain is Sitch's brain. I definitely had a couple creepy. Okay, so this is. I definitely had a couple creepy handsy teachers, but I don't remember reading the N-word. I don't know. This is some part of Huckleberry Finn or something, because you guys did classics and things. Oh, Daisy, hi. She's looking at me. This. Okay, we go. Okay, we got that. So we only had one. We only had one creepy audio. My audio stopped working for a hot minute, and I just realized how expressive Chi-Chi's hands are. Yes, I can't sit still. I'm a secret degenerate, or at least I was until this chat. Yeah, now you are a fully exposed degenerate. See, also what I really like about StreamYard is we can see your profile pictures so nice and big. I don't restrict my scrigs. See, I just was like, I'll finish the sentence for Patrick. I don't restrict my kids' devices, but no one should talk to my kids about sex but me, so I can make them ashamed of their sinful urges. Exactly. You tell them. Okay. Anyway. Oh, yes, and I realized I said any hoodles a lot in the previous thing, and I'm just like, Chinsia, could you just shut the fuck up? Anyway. I say anyway a lot, and that's fine. But any hoodles, where the fuck did that come from? So yeah, let's go back to. He said a lot as usual. Let's see how much. Let's conversation analysis this. Okay, making this larger. Okay. Not conversation analysis. It's just like because it's not a conversation actually. It's just him talking to himself. Okay, it is a conversation. Okay, how extreme a lot of the antics are. Accused of cherry picking. No. Oof. Yeah. Okay, let's go here.
They gain the trust of a child.
Yes, it's. Oh, let me see if they've tried to speak to us. Your order was successful. Look, I ordered several. And toilet paper and bread. Sorry. We have to stop everything when Gordon wants to know whether I got him his desserts or not. Will you answer the door for me? Okay. Okay, anyway, so let's go.
Child in a non-sexual setting, and then they eventually flip that into a sexual relationship in the future. They gain the trust.
The rights perspective, like, do you think any amount of that sort of like crusade that's happening is justified?
The thing is, I don't even know what the fuck groomer means anymore.
Okay, so first of all, he doesn't know what the fuck groomer means anymore. That's a non-point. It's I don't know what woke means. What does woke even mean anymore? No, dude. Just because the meaning changed over time, that doesn't mean there's no meaning now. That's not a thing. Sorry, no. What kind of dessert? Sorbet. We got sorbet. I was saying the same thing as Andrew. You love hoodles. I love Sitch as a political mind, but listening to him talk about media is listening to Quentin Reviews talk about politics. Oh, what don't you like about his media takes? I haven't heard it, but sequel to Star Wars. Anyway, woke groomers doing racisms. What even is a dessert anyway? A dessert is apparently not an apple because I bought apples and bananas and Gordon's like, that's not dessert. So I had to get him sorbet, which is supposedly better than ice cream, but it's like, it's got sugar in it anyway. But we take the healthy steps one at a time. At least he had a healthy dinner tonight. And he ate beans voluntarily. So it's good. Sitch's media takes are almost all bad. Oh, but that's endearing. Okay, so let's look at how he speaks here, because why not? Okay, the thing is, I don't even know what the hell groomer means anymore. What groomer used to mean was groomer is a person that abuses a position of power. So used to mean using position of power. Go Chichi. She put a little bit of the conversation in. Okay, abuses a position of power. Usually it's around children. So I'll put there usually around children. Children. You don't need an E. Okay. Usually around children. Power around children. And they gain the trust of a child in a non-sexual setting. Gaining. Trust of child. I hope you guys can hear my keyboard. Some noise cancelling does take it out. Non-sexual. Come, Daisy D. Daisy jumped out of her drawer earlier to go and have a snack. Desert is an apple. That's ground for divorce. You know what? I'm sure that Gordon will enjoy hearing about your support for him. Sitch can't help what he likes, guys. Don't media shame. Yeah, exactly. Daisy? Hey. Daisy, there's clutter and everything all over the desk, but you have to come here. Ooh, she knocked into the mic. That was her. Come, here. In the bed. In the bed. Oh my god, Daisy! Okay, anyway. Gaining trust of a child in a non-sexual setting. They eventually flip into a sexual relationship in the future, so it don't have to be a child. But, so then, and then to flip into a sexual one in the future. And then, okay, then it's just like position of power. Then it's like, oh, you don't have to be 27. That you're a 27-year-old and you're tutoring like a 19-year-old in college, and that's all you are as a tutor. You advise them your house. Then one day you have drinks and you use that position of kind of product rights. Of oftentimes it's children nowadays. So you see, his brain goes, oh yeah, you see. But when somebody uses a position of power, it could be like just a 27-year-old and a 19-year-old. It doesn't have to really be a child. Yeah. So you see his brain just went into the scenario of the 19-year-old and the 27. Whoa, see how excited I am. I just yeeted my my earplug out. So that we can hear the keyboard and it's lovely. And that is all thanks to Andrew. Thank you very much. So the Daisy, and there's a fly, so she's trying to get that. So, yeah, so this is where his brain went. His brain went, okay, it's not just the children, right? 19-year-old in college, 27-year-old, and you're tutoring, and he's like talking it specifically, tutoring. So it's 19 and 27. 27-year-old tutor tutoring 19-year-old. Okay, I'm not going to write the whole scenario, but I'm just looking at the way he speaks to himself. Like, let's listen again.
Eventually flip that into a sexual relationship in the future. So it doesn't have to be a child. It could be that you're 20.
So he's trying to say it doesn't have to be a child, right? So he goes, it doesn't have to be a child. So let's actually diagram that. Doesn't have to be. Okay. And then his brain goes, let's do this. 27-year-old and 19-year-old. Then he goes into that story in his mind. And then he literally, like we don't need to hear the whole story. We don't. Okay? It's just, there's the age. There's an example of grooming without it.
27-year-old.
Dude, Lucy, I was thinking that because isn't he some sort of sex pest? That's exactly what I thought. I was like, how old is Destiny? Okay, wait, he's not 27. But I was like, maybe that happened. Anyway.
When you're tutoring like a 19-year-old in college, and that's all you are as a tutor, you invite them to your house, and one day you have drinks, and you use that position of kind of power fight, right? Or oftentimes it's with children.
Okay, so or oftentimes it's with children, so he brings it back. So look, we've got here, it doesn't have to be a child. And then it's, you use... And he did also, you know what? Oh, I need to read this book, right, guys? The Secret Life of Pronouns. And that's not as woke as you think it is. It literally is the way, research on how humans use pronouns and the way that they change pronouns. I am this and that. Let's see how he changed pronouns here. So, groomer means anyone. Okay, so he goes, eventually flip that into a sexual relationship in future. Doesn't have to be a child. It could be that you're a 27-year-old and you're tutoring like a 19-year-old in college, and that's all you are as a tutor. You advise them, your house, you invite them to your house. Then one day you have drinks and you use that position of kind of product, right? So he goes, then you use that position, and then he closes off that, and then he goes, and then it's oftentimes it's children. Are you pro noun generally? I'm pro verb. It's actually quite interesting. Anti-noun personally. Woo! Galente. Based. So yes. Anyway, I'm not making any claims. I'm just saying that it's very interesting. Guys, you need to follow the behavior panel if you don't already. That's where you'll learn about pronouns and things like that, where it actually counts. Okay, the 27-year-old, 19-year-old, you... oh, there is the dessert. Ah. Thank you. Gordon! For you too. He threw. He kicked the toilet paper at me. Oh no. Okay, anyway. I cannot handle people changing their names after I've met them, let alone pronouns. No, it's when you're telling a story where you change the perspective for you and whatever. Actually, one of the things in counseling they wanted us to do, what flavor? There's one raspberry and one blackberry, I think. But yeah, what they wanted us to do in the counseling course was when somebody is talking, when you're talking about yourself and a feeling is not, you don't want to be with a feeling, you start saying, oh, you feel this, you feel that. You would have to stop the person and say, you must say, I feel this, I feel that. Anyway, I love words. Cool 7-year-old drinks. Use that. Position. And then he just goes, yeah, but then children. Cool. Goes back to children. Very strange. Anyway.
Nowadays, when conservatives say groomer, I don't know if they just mean like just exposing kids to like LGBTs.
Okay, so now he's saying, is it when conservatives, so I'm just going to go to this part. Yeah. Take that away. when conservatives say it. Oopsie. Open. Is it just exposing kids to LGBT stuff? Okay. No, it's not. For some people it is. For some people it isn't. What does exposing mean? Let's go into the words then. What is exposing? Is literally exposure of your titties. Is that it? Because then maybe no. Something about the way he says exposing kids just bothers me. Exactly, David. Exactly. Okay.
Stuff like if I teach my son that like gay people are trans,
like is it really about I think it is okay. Literally, it's okay if I think it is important for kids to learn that this sort of thing exists, this sort of format of people exists, but it's not something that like they need to be taught to do or whatever. Like just knowing that sometimes literally the way, as simple as it gets, is sometimes people can have two mommies because and then they're like, oh well, but what happened, where is there no daddy? Then you have to go and you do have to explain the reproduction and shit like that. But I'm just saying the fact, like, if my niece had seen two girls holding hands and been like, why are they holding hands? And it's like, well, sometimes girls like girls. That's it. We don't have to talk about how we do the thing, and we don't have to talk about sex actually when it comes to that, because that's not, it's just this is all that you will be exposed to. This is all you need to understand for now. You aren't being exposed to everybody's sexual life, so you don't need to understand what's going on. But anyway, that's why I say titties. Like, guys, we don't need to be exposed. Oh wow, oh, kids don't need to. I saw a video, a video of the topless people in New York and whatever. Apparently, it's not illegal, so nothing you can do. But there was a kid there, and I was just like, it's just inappropriate. I just don't think kids need to be around titties unless they're literally feeding off them. So he doesn't like fruit salad if he doesn't like fruits. Yeah, he doesn't like fruit salad. Doesn't like, yeah. Even if you put them together, he wouldn't. Context is important. I met a topless female carpenter as a kid at a state fair and didn't care because it was hot out and she was working, but a fully clothed drag queen would be another matter. That's true. It's icky. Boobs. There we go. Boobs. That's the topic. Boobs. Okay, exposing kids to LGBT stuff. If that's what it is, that's fine. But the thing is, now we're getting into the it's not happening territory, guys. That's what we're doing. We're getting into the, oh, maybe, whatever. It's if it's not happening, but if it is, it's okay. Yeah, if that was a group of heteros that get indecent exposure. Well, is that in New York City? Is that true? Because apparently since the 90s, it's been legal for you to be topless as a woman in New York City. Ooh, look at darling. Okay. Let's see. Oftentimes it's children nowadays when conservative services say groomer. I don't know. They just mean like people exposing kids to LGBT stuff. It is, that's not what conservatives are talking about. It's what a lot of them would say is the limit. There are some people that are like, never, nothing. No, I don't want my kids to hear about this stuff, whatever. That I'm like, look, your kids they're gonna be exposed to it because they are in a free country where there's people that will be walking past holding hands and stuff. Like, that is it. Don't be afraid of that. Make sure that they understand it. That's it. But we don't have to have graphic exposure. That's the what does Destiny mean by exposure? Hard disagree. Some kids don't receive the right education about sex because they don't have other authority figures in their lives to teach them. So they do some stupid shit and end up parented succeed. Yeah, yes, I understand. It's not that you're saying that nobody must, that school must not, what are you saying, that they need some authority because there's no sex ed at home? They go and get pregnant and stuff. But I agree that at school you need to have some basic sex education, for sure. But the sex education that I have had was pretty normal. We used to have just normal sex ed, and it wasn't graphical stuff. Like, precious child has many names. Ooh, that's weird. The issue is normalizing the behavior or lifestyle. You see, what do you mean by lifestyle? Because normalizing the fact that some people are gay is fine for me, but the normalization of promiscuity, absolutely not. It's not a thing. It shouldn't be something that's encouraged for me. When I say it's not a thing, I mean it's not a thing. You can't make it a thing. That's what I mean. That's what that little phrase means when I use it. It's, you can't stop trying to make this a thing. That's what I mean. Like local, what are you saying here? But grooming is usually using it to see like age group or what's safe, unsafe. They learn it from somewhere. But the issue now is LGBTQ plus teach kids that before they learn their ABCs. Exactly. It's not part of a gradual maturity. It's everything. It's permeated everything. Must have learned to draw these degenerate diagrams somewhere. I don't know. I learned mind mapping, and that was all. And my brain just did something. If you know how to normalize gay, don't make it a big thing. My neighbors are lesbians. I was never told. Didn't care. Just hung out with the two women that lived together. Exactly, Cameron. That's what I mean by normalize. It must be as normal as you. When you don't. You're not going to go, oh my God, when you see it. That's it. And unfortunately, it's also, it's special. It's like, no, it's actually just, your sexuality is not really that special if you're gay. It's just like, cool. It's an sexuality. We don't need the scissoring details. Do I keep doing this when I talk that? Because that is what I'm thinking. All these branching lines, disgusting. It's flexible. Anyway, yeah, make it a non-issue. Okay, it's the same thing as being colorblind. But oh God, no, we have to see it. We have to see it, and we need to be loud and proud about it. One of the things that seems to make gayness stand out from heterosexuality is the promiscuity. And is that really an inherent thing? Or is it like, I think there was stigma around just being gay meant being, promiscuous, but aren't they just normal gay people that just want to be with someone else and live their life? Like, they just want to be with the person that is the same sex as them. They like the person with the same parts that they have, and they just want to live their life. And they wouldn't mind. They turn to promiscuity because it's difficult to find serious relationships, I suppose. But I would want to look into psychology. Like, I was thinking the other day of getting a subscription to academic stuff, just to read the articles, like certain things of what just for these certain questions, but I guess Google Scholar does the trick as far as it can. That's my question. Is it some inherently, because the whole pride thing is very sexual, obviously, because it's about sexuality. But my question then is hookup culture, like you're talking about there, is that inherent? Is that just difficult to? Can you not separate that from homosexuality? Because I would think that that's unhealthy for it. There's monogamy just is not cool, I suppose, for most. I don't know. That doesn't make sense. It's like, oh well, we want the right to marry, but then we don't really believe in marriage. Meantime, yeah, I don't know. There I go again. Oh, what? I went and spoke a million miles a second and said all the things. It is sexual, but it doesn't have to be. Exactly. But the thing is, it is sexual though, and it has been sexual. It's synonymous with kink these days. It's not about Martha and Maggie walking down the street with their adopted child. It's not. It's about Martha, Maggie, Manny, all of them having a whole big ass like just orgy in the streets. Kink and queerness. Well, the thing is, queerness. Well, you know what? We were gonna start. I think what we need to do is we need to have that discussion on Thursday night as our last. It's the last day. It's the last thinkers of Pride Month, and I think we should have that discussion. Why did you say that name? What name? Queerness? Normalizing kinks is odd these days. They accepted furries and might do it to nope. I do not enjoy that. Anyway. Sorry guys, we went off. In the 90s. Oh, sorry. In the 90s and early 2000s, we said bi people were fine, but they used it as an excuse to have any partner. We joked they wanted to have sex with anyone they liked and were sexually promiscuous. Leather and furries. Leather. Oh, Martha. Oh, oopsie. He's on his way. I'll find us a good kink video. Oy vey. And then anyway, let's continue. Well done, everybody. Okay, let's do the make me groomer, but I'm not sure if. Okay, so what I don't understand here, guys, getting back into this. When he said best interpretation, what is his best interpretation? So yeah,
like a groomer. I'm not sure. If I take them at like the best interpretation of it, it's the idea that you're trying to make LGBT ideology so pervasive among the youth that some of them begin to identify that way, even though they wouldn't have otherwise. But
is that what he's saying, that the most charitable position he can give the conservative? Is that it's not just exposing them, it's indoctrinating them. Like the idea you're trying to make LGBT so pervasive among the youth that some of them begin to identify that way, even though they wouldn't have otherwise. So is this an or situation? Or is it trying that people trying to make ideology so pervasive? Pervasive among youth that they identify. LGBT without even which is okay, even though they wouldn't have otherwise. I think what is the problem with that? It's confusing them. So he says, oh, it's a nebulous concept. Well, what is a nebulous concept? Tell me what the nebulous concept is.
Even though they wouldn't have otherwise, but that's like such a nebulous concept that it's hard to even know. It's caused us to revisit.
It's hard to even know. Okay, it's hard to even know whether somebody would have identified as something would have identified as something otherwise. That yes, that is nebulous, that is difficult. Chances are the people that identify and then go back, you know, the whole detransition thing, chances are that that's the thing that they're worried about, because those are the kinds of people that wouldn't have identified. There are people that are confused, and there are children, so you're confusing them. I don't think that they're turning the kids gay. I don't think that. I think they're making the kids that are confused more confused. I don't know. I think people need to be more open to the fact that a person can be gay, but they present gayness, LGBTQness as the most special thing that you could be. If you are heterosexual, shame. There's nothing for you. You don't have a cool personality. You got nothing going for you. So when you're a kid, it seems like they make it seem like it's the best thing to be. When it's not the worst thing to be. It should just be a non-thing. It should be as much, you know that joke, when are you telling your parents you're straight? That's the same thing. That would be an ideal thing, that you basically just, oh well, I like that girl, and then your parents go, oh okay. That's what you want them to do. Please read The Case Against the Sexual Revolution. Is this a book or an essay? It talks about something called sociosexuality, i.e. one's desire for multiple partners. Men are much higher in this, thus gays suck. Okay, you're saying that's why they're promiscuous. I think that should be part of our discussion as well. Promiscuity and gayness on Thursday. Boring. What's boring? Morning, Miss 1776. Look at her pretty face. She still won't show us her whole face and speak to us with it, but I'm enjoying that profile picture. Sometimes a butt is comical. Sorry, chemical butt. Comical, and sometimes it's sexualized. Kinston enjoys sexually most of the time, so that's what people associate with it. Left people have a hard time with the groomer topic because it's not always sexual, but indoctrination. There is a reason you see a lot of people who are claiming they are LGBT but aren't. Yeah, the groomer, the word groomer is so incendiary. Okay, so you are with that word, you're accusing somebody of actually having sexual desire for children. You are. So there's just this all-out warfare. So now you get people chanting, "We're coming for your kids." So everybody just fucking hates each other so much that we've got the people that are saying groomer, and then you've got the other people saying, "We're coming for your kids." So they've accepted that they're groomers, and everybody instead of actually fighting back and saying that's not what I am, they've put it all together. Oh, heterosexuality is boring. Yes, it is very boring. It's worked for me. I enjoy it a lot. So, but you know what? That's just me, and I don't care what you guys do, as long as it doesn't hurt any little kids, guys. Anyway, okay. So he kind of put a non-point on that. He just went, it's a nebulous concept, so it's hard to know. That's a non. He just okay,
even
non
though they
sequitur.
wouldn't have
Look,
otherwise. But that's like such a nebulous concept that it's hard to even know. It's caused us to revisit. I have a whole theory of this, but it's caused us to revisit like educating our children on what they're supposed to learn.
okay. So that's it, and then he's like what our kids learn, what they're supposed to learn, and then he's got a whole thing about COVID people in COVID, during COVID people learned what their kids. I think that just helped. I think that people seeing what their kids were learning, it coincided with COVID. I think it would have happened anyway, because they were getting kids coming home and saying, this is what I'm learning. I mean, those I wish Blaire, she doesn't, but I wish Blaire would. Then again, it's not, what's the point? Or I don't know, maybe it would be too. I haven't even gotten to what I'm talking about. Look, I'm doing a Destiny thing. You guys don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. Okay, anyway. So say Blaire asks Destiny, what about those instances in school when there are those graphic descriptions and things that are in books that are in the library, and the teachers go to the school council and they read it out loud, and the school council, whatever, tells him to stop, please stop reading it because it's inappropriate. You know, those videos? I would want to know about it. And the reason I went, what's the point of that? Is it would be maybe too debate brainy. But I would want to know what Destiny thinks of that. Like, what do we say about that? And then I suppose what he would talk about is, oh, well, the kids have porn at home, so it's fine. Anyway. 10 minutes. It's just to visit educating our children, and they're supposed to learn fully. I'm of the opinion that with no scientific data, but I feel what happened during the COVID movement was the first time a lot of parents' lives that actually looked at what their kids were doing for schoolwork, and that's when they were like, wait a second, I don't like any of this. It's horrible. But it's unprecedented scrutiny. Okay, but it's good. It was warranted. Who gives a shit how people found out? They did. That's good. Kids' books, okay? Scrutiny on every kid's book, ever. There's always been moral panic from the conservatives. There was always the kids are reading Harry Potter. Oh no, Harry Potter is the devil, and it's Satanism. Like there was that scrutiny on things. Oh, but now there's scrutiny on every single book. So now the conservatives are being too snowflakey. Dude, it's people's children. If you want to find people a sensitive spot, it's people's children. You don't mess with people's kids, dude. So I guess they can. It's so difficult to have this righteous. A parent has the right to be righteously indignant about everything about their kid, because their kid is their everything. I really cannot blame parents being sensitive and scared for their children. But then again, I don't want parents to be stupid like the parents that were like, Harry Potter is Satan. And there were people at my school that thought Tazos. Do you remember Tazos from Pokemon in your chip bag, crisp bag? Those were the devil. And one time, this one chick actually, she started bending them. And when you bend plastic, it'll get a bit warm. Oh, it was warm. The devil was coming out of it. Anyway, just a little story. They have porn at home. Let's see. Makes me think of that time when British moms made wholesome porn for their boys as directors, not actors. Yeah. Was that a movie or was it actually real? The Harry Potter thing was uber retarded. Yeah. It's satanic panic. All of that. Thank you, Miss 1776. Oh yes, by the way, Miss 1776, on Thursday, what we are going to be talking about is promiscuity and kink and all of that, because this is the last day of Pride. We're going to talk about what should it be? Andrew had this weird thing we were talking about kink not being sexual, whereas I don't understand that, but that will be part of the discussion. But it would be really awesome if you could be there, because your opinion really matters to me. So I know that you could give us some great insights there. So it would be great if you could do that, but I know that it might be during your work time. So anyway, you're invited. What time? Okay, so it's like around this time on Thursday. Whatever time you can make it. So like I'm now live for the next 3 hours. So it's the same time period, just on Thursday. That would be great. Otherwise, we'll just have to do a special one where we have you on the weekend, but I'm on your stream. It's fine. But I do know that the thinkers would enjoy you on their panel. And I've decided I would enjoy you on the panel. So fuck if they don't like it, but they will. Anyway, people saw what their kids were learning. Because like I remember growing up in school, there were so many like defining moments that were funny moments we all have. Okay, so this over here, we all had these moments. What does this do? How does this help us in this situation? Why does he bring this up? He's saying it's no big deal. He's saying, well, come on. We all had those moments. And it's nothing to be worried about. Dude, I think it's gotten a bit worse. Okay? We didn't all have pride flags in our nursery school classroom. We didn't talk about sex in our nursery school classroom. We talked about shapes and colors. And what do you want to be when you grow up? And I wanted to be a nurse. Anyway, I can make it for a bit before I have to leave for work. Oh, that'll be awesome. That will really be awesome. I know that a lot. I mean, Hydra is also trying to make. Not many people can be there the whole time. But if you could be there for any amount of time, we would just be happy to have you. And we would favor you to have all of the airtime while you're there. What pronouns do you want when you grow up? You're already using you. What pronouns does Chinsia want when Chinsia grows up? That's actually another thing that I would recommend you do, is if you don't know somebody's pronouns, just put their freaking name in 1,000,000 times, because that's what a pronoun is for. Is to replace the name. Anyway, I don't know if this is true. Okay, so he's saying this is where, okay, we have a few more people here, maybe 2 or 3. This, when I first went over this. Ooh. Absolutely, yes! I'm so excited! I'll send you the link. I'll put you in the Thinkers Discord, but yeah, I'll put you in the Thinkers Discord. Yeah, you'll just be spammed. You can just turn the notifications off, but that's where the link will be. Sorry, can't believe I was so bigoted. Yes, exactly. Shapes and colors like race and body positive. Exactly. For my bio, I use because those are pronouns I use. But for a while, my bio had I, me in it. Those are my pronouns. They should tattoo their pronouns on their forehead like a Joker damage tattoo. We all know exactly. We'll have to kick someone. No! We'll kick me. 10 is the limit. So we're already at 10. Well, yeah, okay, well then I'll just, we're at 10. I'll just send it to her separately then. Who cares? Okay. I don't know if this is true for everybody, but yes, the limit is 10 to the number of guests, but considering people are in and out, it'll work out fine, I think. What? Gundam talked about the TikTok pronoun game. Is there a TikTok pronoun game? Like what one of those things that like, and these are your pronouns. Boom. One of those. Duma. Where? Kick Duma. Mass crazy demonkin and bug pronouns. Oh my god, pup. There's one that Blaire was looking at the other day that was pup pronouns. Anyway. Kit pronoun. Okay. I don't know if this is true for everybody. Maybe I'm self-reporting. Anyway, so this is what I wanted, is to ask you guys, is this true for everybody? Let's go. I don't know if this is true for everybody. Maybe I'm self-reporting, but we all had like a creepy teacher that was like a little bit too handsy with some of the girls. It was kind of weird. Okay, so we've got creepy teacher, handsy. Okay. And we said I think Lucy said something about one person, but nobody else said that they had this. Okay. Oh, she said that she didn't know about the N-word thing, and it was kind of weird. And then we had this one moment where we were reading Huckleberry Finn. Who's going to read? Okay, so who's going to read the part with the N-word? So these are things that are offensive. Aren't Kitty's pronouns his, per? I think so. That is right. And you know what I love about that is that it rhymes with his and her. Okay. She, per. I had a teacher I thought was super rad and down with the kids, but I found out a teacher was having the kind of convos with my children that we had. I'd be at the school throwing hands. Oh, wait. So Jay, are you saying that the way that teacher was speaking to you, in your experience, you would not want your children to be spoken to? I had a gym teacher who used to come running anytime one of the guys would get hurt. He'd rub our inner thigh to try to stop the injury from hurting, even if you hurt your back. No, Patrick, please tell me you're lying. Please tell me you're lying. Please tell me that's a joke. That's disgusting. Yes. Oh my god. It's a Gundam is classic and still good. Remember, he did videos on Dylan Mulvaney before anyone else. I love It's a Gundam. V says he's too tame now, but he's still hilarious to me. I love him. Okay, so the N-word. So, did you guys do the thing? Oh, I'm so sorry. It is a true story. Oh, that's horrible. Fuck that guy. Don't. But I'm just saying. Ugh. Gross. Okay, so you guys, I suppose you did read out loud in school. In school, what we did, we actually had a permission slip or whatever to be shown. We were going to be shown the Romeo and Juliet movie, an older version that showed a bum. It showed a man's bum in it, and we had to, our parents had to okay that before they showed it to us at school. So, I mean, but I was at a Christian school, but even so, that was when we were 12. So I think that was, I would rather have that kind of permission slip sort of thing going on. And apparently they do that. As we saw with the whole debacle with the lady. High school at a Christian school. I remember reading Lord of the Flies aloud and To Kill a Mockingbird, but I didn't read Huckleberry. Oh, okay. Did anyone have to read the N-word out loud? I don't know if they're in that. To Kill a Mockingbird? No, they don't use that. We watched the Leo Claire version. Oh no, we didn't watch that one. We watched some scenes of it. We did analysis of it. Anyway, the N-word passage, all the moments where there's just like books we had to read had some weird shit in them, whatever. But like, you read it, you got through it. It was whatever, school. But now there's like this hyper scrutiny of everything fucking thing. So it's funny. Like in some ways, conservatives will attack people on the left. He's really equating this stuff. I was in a Christian school up to through 12. Same. I like how the swords are guns. Yes, I just loved the soundtrack. It was very good. Anyway, so he says the people. So he's saying that all of those things suck it up for sure. I think people are what's the name? They have been oversensitive, but they always have been the moral busybodies. So like I said, Harry Potter, people that were like Harry Potter satanic. But right now, I really think there is reason to be a bit alarmed. Again, I would have loved for Blaire to have asked him about those passages that were being taught in books and things like that at school, where those were not appropriate to read in a school board meeting. It's just, I would want to know. Okay, so I'm just going to say conservatives are snowflakes. Conservatives but he says, okay, call the left snowflake, but conservative, but they're also snowflakes about certain books in our library. Some of it some of it is hoaxy, some of it isn't. Okay, so can we at least condemn the ones that are for real? That's what I would want. Being snowflakes, largely agree. Oh, but also they're largely snowflakes. But they'll there's a book in the library where there's like a sex scene in a book, and it's like below kids are finding porn at 11. Are we happy that? Okay, so let's examine this. Okay, so he's like books in library, kids in a library with sex scene. With a sex scene, and then kids being porn at 11, 22, 11. On the internet. The hill that you're gonna die on is saying that all of these books in high school libraries. No, it's not high school libraries, it's middle school libraries that they're talking about. That's not the hill that we're dying on. Don't try and take all of it away. I completely agree. You don't need to take out, it doesn't need to be, especially the high school stuff, romance and things like that, that's fine. But the passages that you hear in those school board meetings that they read, it's disgusting. I'm sorry, fucking hell. Ooh, God, no, it's horrid. There's no reason that should be there. It's like, oh, well, kids, Destiny, I don't understand. Okay? The kids are finding porn at 11. Are you saying what we must now make it available? That's what I'm trying to say. It's like, so there is the fact that yes, kids need to be educated in sex ed. Like there are people that are lacking. There are parents that don't know how to communicate with their children, and yes, those kids are then actually left behind because they don't have that sort of open sort of discussion with their parents. And then they also might get the parent that is like Patrick, that will make them feel ashamed of their sins. Whatever, Patrick it's a joke. But like, okay, how does porn being an issue cancel out that? It doesn't. It's like, oh well, we were fine when we found porn. Whatever. We knew porn was a problem, or like not good. It's naughty. Okay. Normalizing porn, on the other hand, is not a good idea. And I don't think it's that extreme to ask for that not to be a thing. Every guy in my class really wanted that N-word paragraph. Oh, really? Did you get it, Calvin? Did you get it? I went to Catholic school here in Alberta, barely noticed except for morning prayer. Oh, wow. My brother brought me the first Harry Potter book when it was my brand new, and then 3 years later they yelled at me for bringing the devil into the house. Never even read that copy. What the hell, dude? Are Christian schools small in the States? We've got constitution protected Catholic ones in Canada, so I'm used to them not being large. They love Lord of the Rings. That's so funny because Lord of the Rings literally presents a mythos that, it parallels Christianity, but without, not Christianity, it parallels God. But, it's equally as satanic as the existence of marriage, magic. Freudian slip. Had a pastor that said the Chronicles of Narnia was satanic. You know why? Because they don't like you enjoying something more than the Bible. That's it. They just hated it. Oh, I was such a freaking rebel for liking that sort of thing. Oh, I remember it. Oh, jeez. Any hoodles. Dad's probably jerking off to the porn. Like, that's a non-point, Destiny. You're smarter than this. But he's just saying stuffs. Okay? So yes, finding porn when you're 11-year-old is not the end of the world, but that does not mean that it should be available at school. That's like there being porn on the homepage of your when you go into your computer class. There's a shortcut saved to the top here of Pornhub at your school. No. Or it's like these little links or to, no, it doesn't need to be available there. Okay? Just because they're finding it on the internet, that's fucking stupid. I'm sorry. He's smarter than that. 99 of the kids are going to checking out like what's rotting the child's youth, like are going, I feel all these things are like people don't actually feel strongly about concept. They're just battlegrounds they use to wage. So he's saying that this is, yes, this whole thing is, it's not a big deal. People don't actually just a battleground. Other ideas. But you know what? That's the thing. The kids are the battleground because that's where it's starting from. And a lot of the time, one of the most sensitive things that you can do is mess with a person's kid and raising their kids. Dude. Ideological conservatism versus progressivism wars in schools are just like the new battleground for it. I think they've always been a battleground for it. Kids are always a battleground because they are the future. Okay, and even with communism, etc., it's about the kids are supposed to be smarter than the parents. They're supposed to be the revolutionaries. It's the whole schools have always been where this battle wages. But right now, it's not Harry Potter is a problem, which was not. Right now, it's let's not talk about the butt sex when Harry, 11 years old, is learning he's a wizard. We don't need to hear. It doesn't need to be parody level. That's where the thrills, if you're a South African, thrills, the grossness, the shivery, the shudders, that comes in. Why are you speaking to kids about that? And I'm talking about kids. I'm not talking about 16-year-olds, whatever. I'm talking literally middle school kids. Stop it. Leave them. Okay. I think we all know that. So. Another conduit to fight through it with, but I don't think. Okay, so here is where we at least go to Blaire. Let's see what Blaire goes to.
And then LGBT becomes like another conduit to fight through it with it, but I don't know.
I think the biggest problem in the schools is the fact that teachers feel, not even just feel, they're given curriculum with this, like they are actually teaching gender ideology as part of the curriculum. That's like a big problem for me, because so much of that, like we said, the science just isn't there. And also so much of that is contested even among like the trans community, but yet the far leftist view on gender ideology is what's taught in schools. It's like, I had my nephew call me a few months ago, and he was like, you will never believe, and he's in 8th grade. He's like, you would never believe what they even had in the class today. And I'm like, what happened? And he's like, they basically just gave us a huge like list of gender identities that we had to select, and it was like over 50, and it had things that were completely nebulous, completely ridiculous, like demi boy, demi girl, like all this shit. And it's like, when most of actual trans people don't even think that's real, why the fuck is that being taught in school to kids? And then why are there just these therapists on standby within these public schools that are ready to, when one of these kids who's given this piece of paper with all these gender identities is ready to like affirm whichever one and explain to them how to go on a process of going to Planned Parenthood and getting hormones, whatever the fuck. It's like, so I understand when conservatives are like, it's being pushed on kids, because in many ways it absolutely is. And I think there's a difference between pushing it on kids and just creating an overall environment that's like, we accept people for who they are, but we don't have to put thoughts in kids' heads, because a lot of the thoughts they put in the kids' heads are very contradictory and don't make sense. It's like, you're a boy or you're a girl if you like pink. That's literally the extent of like the fucking intellectual exploration that a lot of these like people have with what trans is.
Hello. There is no such thing as it's not happening. Literally, she's just told us about her nephew who got a list of the genders. So that is actually quite a good thing that she's even saying is, look, even if you want to talk about exposure to LGBT as a concept or whatever to kids, they're being exposed to the most extreme version of this. They're being exposed to the doctrine of it, not just the lowest common denominator where we can accept that, you know, when they go, oh, trans people exist, okay, you got to just let the kids know that trans people exist. This is a lot more than that. And it's also saying not only do trans people exist, but you're probably trans. Yeah. Little Miss Chinsia over there, you like riding horses, and you don't. Oh, you're really bad at putting on makeup. Oh my God, you must be a man. Like, that's what's happening, and it is turning into transition central, and some kids' lives are being ruined. But whatever. I guess I'm just being dramatic. It's not. It's clearly happening in some schools, and where it does, there is this pushback of, oh, you're being bigoted. It's like, no, I think we can try to rein this shit in. Can we not? And like Blaire says, there's like the school psychologist ready to transition the kids as well. Why? Sorry, one of the biggest things is we're supposed to be seeing a whole bunch of kids just not committing suicide, because remember, the kids that were being bullied into that they were so miserable and not accepted as trans kids, they were committing suicide. Remember, those are that you're creating the problem. It didn't exist like this. I think I'm speaking. I don't know. These are things that everybody here has spoken about before. So I'm just putting them in stupid words and whatever. I'm just ranting. Okay, accept it. I'm so good at makeup. Blaire loves pink and it's there for a girl. Simple. Exactly. Look, David. Right behind her. Pink. Oh my gosh. Exposure wand, Harry. Cast harden, Harry. Stop! 0 bucks. I swear to God, I just saw 2 fire trucks in a standoff. What, Calvin? Tell us. I'm not good at makeup. Anyway. Cool. So she's saying, oh, wow. So here we go. This is where Destiny is going to go and say, oh, I don't know how many schools. It's not happening. But if it is, Destiny, my question is, if it is, could we say, that's fucked up, let's not do that? Okay, that's a centrist thing to say. Could we not? Could we not give you a list of all the crazy genders? Transgender ideology in school, the far left gender ideology. It's like most people, like hundreds of genders. And then staff psychologists ready to just explain the journey of hormones. Okay. And for me, something that what this sort of indoctrination thing is these are children. They are, dude, when I was 11, I was ready to be a nun. This one. This motherfucker, this one that speaks like that, like she does. I wanted to be, I was interested in that. Because there was a nun who came to us. She discussed what her life was about, and her mission, where she'd been. She traveled all over the place. She made it sound very cool, and also, she came to just give us the idea that this was a path we could take in our lives. And yes, I was at a Christian school, so this was absolutely normal. And it was, and my parents knew that this was going to happen and everything. My mom was over the moon when I told her that I got a poster of Jesus, bro. I was into it, okay? And I was 11, because this is now that, imagine that this is you are presenting something to a child, and you're saying this is what your life could be like, and cool, they are now shown that this is the cool thing, and this will make me special as well. This will also make me special because I receive a calling from God. That's kind of special, isn't it? So you're doing this, and you're making this part of humanity the most important part, and you're making it the most incredible and creative and whatever. And being normal is just so boring. Normal sexuality, and I say normal as in literally statistically normal, it's boring. So now what's that going to do to a kid? A kid is going to want to be if a kid is feeling anything missing, they'll be like, they will decide that this is the thing. It's very easy for a highly malleable state of human to be pushed down this road, whether you like it or not. So trying to present it in the most neutral manner would be the best in the kid's best interest. So what Blaire has spoken about here is, it's not the neutral. It's the pup gender. Okay? That's what is being presented to the child. And wow, oh my God, I would have turned out to be oh my God, if I was born today in America, I would be absolute bait for this. Oh my God. So do people with schizophrenia, crack addicts, dissociative identity disorder. Yet we don't beat kids over the head with it. Yes. Just teach kids to treat others with kindness and respect. That's all they need to know. Exactly. So true, Miss 1776. That is it. Exactly what Blaire says here as well. Like, why, instead of teaching them that it exists, whatever, and we're okay with whatever you are, okay, which is we're okay whether you're straight or gay or trans, because that is a thing that they experience, and if that's what you're feeling, cool, let's talk about it. Let's not chop your bits off. Let's not put chemicals in you. All of that will do, like, yeah, exactly. So what she's talking about there is kind of like that colorblind view. But what they're doing here is, no, we want the CRT version of trans rights. That's what we want. And trans rights, gay rights and trans rights. How many schools actually? So yeah, that's it. And also, I love it, the depth of the exploration as well. It's not the depth of it. There's no depth. It's, oh well, you don't like things that are traditionally girly. You're not just a femboy. No, you're not just an actual just. You know how many gay people are going to be ruined by this movement? Oh, geez, the poor. Hands off the gay kids, guys. Leave them and let them be fab. Stop making them girls. Okay, kids contradictory. Okay, so I just want to, overall environment is that we accept. This is what Miss 1776 is saying. Kids pushed on kids in so many ways, absolutely. I think there's a difference between pushing it on kids. There is a difference between pushing it on kids. But look, this is Blaire disagreeing with Destiny. Okay, she's saying, I get why the conservatives are saying that, but you can see that she didn't go debate brain or anything like that. She didn't go and bring up, but what about this? The way that I was thinking about, that what about those passages that you hear? She didn't bring it all the way down to the evidence. She's just like, she actually conceptually went, yeah, but there's a difference. There's a difference between saying we accept this, and he did have some bits of that, right? Because when he did first say it, he said about groomer and stuff. It was usually children, doesn't have to be a child. It's talking about, it used to be about a position of power. And then when conservatives say it, it's just exposing kids to LGBT stuff. That is what Blaire is talking about, actually. He's just exposing, as in, we're letting you, we are happy and we accept you, but we're not going to go and be like, this is the way that you got to be cool. Creating an overall environment. So there's a difference between pushing it on kids and I think I'll put that in this one concept, and creating an environment where we accept people. I'll even put here as just a floating topic. This is the just exposing. Okay. Reword it. Okay, just an idea. Not reword it. Yeah, okay. What's next? We accept people for they are, but we don't have to put thoughts in kids' heads. Don't put thoughts in kids' heads that are very contradictory. And don't make sense. They won't make sense. You see, they won't make sense because of where the child is developing mentally as well. Like, I was not a sexual human being at 11, so I didn't understand what it would mean to be a nun. It would mean, oh, by the way, it doesn't mean that you're just not having children. It's that you're not having a significant other than Jesus. Girl. That's, of course I didn't understand that. I was 11. Okay? Don't put thoughts in kids' heads that are contradictory and confusing. Oh, and don't make sense, sorry. And what she means by that is, girl, you what? If you're a girl if you like pink. Is the extent the next word. We all feel different, and yeah, some of us like this, and oh god, just we didn't get the 2 of 2. That's all they need to know. 1 of 2. Where's the 2 of 2? Okay, don't make sense. Pink, that's literally extends. Intellectual. Okay, so what's his response? Is that really happening? Really? Come on, dude. Yeah. I'd just be curious as to how many it is. Well, you better not be saying it's not that many. 1 is too much.
Yes.
And the fact that they exist elsewhere completely makes it legit for me to want to look at my own kid's school and see whether that's what's happening.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be curious how many schools that actually happens. I'm sure it is happening in some, in which case I would say that's probably too far.
I mean, that was in California.
Sure. Okay. California, yeah.
I mean, it's the biggest fucking state, most populous state. You know?
Oh no, I was just saying because it's fucking California, so of course, it would be California. Yeah. I think the society is changing really, really fast. Like, we can draw these graphs like technologically, how things have like stacked, like every 5 years, it seems like society is unimaginably changing. It feels like socially that is probably true as well. And I can understand a lot of parents being kind of scared at where society is going. I do think that people have a really hard time showing empathy towards parents. And the idea of losing control of your kid in school is also really scary as well. Like, if this is going on your YouTube channel, I'm more progressive than like 99% of your audience, I would imagine. But like, if I can be empathetic towards the idea that like kids are having problems with their parents and they want to talk to the school about it, and maybe in some cases the school shouldn't contact the parents if there's like abuse happening or whatever. But like, if I found out that my kid was going by like different pronouns in school and was like talking to a therapist about that, and I was never contacted, I would pull that kid from that school. And Nathan would never go back. I would actually lose my fucking mind. I'd be like, this is arguably one of the most important things regarding my child, and I'm not in the loop at all about this. Like, that's not happening. Like, my kid is never going back to the school. I'm sorry, we're going somewhere else. I'll buy into their house. I got to
and those are the guidelines in so many states. You know, it's like that's just those are the rules, and you can lose your job if you do not follow that.
Okay. How many schools? Not really much. He basically wanted to know, and then it's just like, oh well, that was California. What did he say? Let's just take his words here so that I can have something. Schools shouldn't contact the parent. Blah blah. If this is going on YouTube towards parents, come on, geez, he says a lot. I understand a lot of parents kind of scared. No, what's next? I want to get to this school thing. Okay, I would say it's probably too far. Okay. So he's admitting at least that it's too far, ladies and gentlemen. I'm curious how many schools that actually. Okay, so curious as to how many schools that actually happens. Where that actually. And then that's probably too far. So he's agreeing. There's the agreement. Okay, he agreed with her. So her counter example, he agreed with. So his thing of softening, the thing, it's just, it's like having the handsy teacher that everyone just got over, and it's like having the N-word read out in school, we just got over it. She's like, no. Okay, it's more than that. And then he's like, yeah, okay, that's too far. But how many? And it's like, listen, does that matter how many? She gave you an example, and that's enough. We can talk about the example. You can say, oh, well, it's not all of them. It's like, well, the ones where it is, Let's not be okay with that. And he has said he's not okay with that. Good man. Then he goes, he can empathize with parents. Okay, probably too far. I mean, that was California. Okay. Society is changing very fast. Okay. Say society. Okay, so he can empathize with society as well. I can understand a lot of parents being kind of scared. Exactly. Oopsie daisy. You get it? Daisy walked past. Oopsie. Understand parents being scared of losing control of their kid. Right? Cool. And he says that society has a hard time they're saying, yeah, they do have a hard time showing empathy to parents. You literally did just not show empathy to those parents when you were saying that they were snowflakes, but he's talking about the moral busybody parents. Towards parents, the idea of losing control of your kid is also really scary. If this is going up on you, I'm more progressive than 90% of your audience, but I would imagine I can be empathetic towards the idea that, like, kids are having problems with their parents and they want to talk to the school about it. So he's saying, okay, so this was another discussion we had in Thinkers of, you know, you do need those systems where the school, where the kid can talk to someone at school, because the parents, and as Jab said as well earlier, sometimes the home life is not optimal. So there is some sort of leaning that you need from school, right? So we can understand that, okay? So with kids having problems with their parents and want to talk about it. I think you need those systems. You cannot be without them, right? But there needs to be some sort of way to investigate the home life eventually, where you do have to bring the parent in. It has to be a collaborative approach. And then, yeah, if there is abuse, then you fucking take the child away. Duh. But, and then also if there are, you know, if there are parents that aren't having the sort of required discussions with these kids, that is a problem. And in public school, you have to kind of have the lowest common denominator, the least offensive, minimal amount that you can learn about that will get you through. And I think that is the responsibility of the school. But then the secrecy and the loss of then your child just belongs to the public school. Not a fuck. Sorry. No. I don't even have kids and I have that protective thing. Okay. Empathize, kids having problems with the parents and want to talk about it. So yeah, for me, that's for sure. It's absolutely necessary to have those systems, right? And that's what Destiny is saying as well. But and maybe in some cases. School shouldn't contact. I understand that. Okay, I can understand that sometimes. I would say that eventually, the eventuality does, if it has to, the parent has to be confronted. There's no secrecy. You can't have secrecy with kids and adults without the parents. And if the parents are unfit, then that's a bigger issue. Then we need to get the kid away from those parents. Okay. School contact, if abuse is happening or whatever, we found out that my kid. Okay, so yeah, then there's the flip side of it. So how do we deal with this? We can't have a free for all on both sides. Okay, he would flip if his found out kid was going by different pronouns. Therapist about and was never contacted. Upset. Okay. Hey, he would never go back, actually lose my shit. Mind, I know this is arguably one of the most important things regarding my child, and I'm not in the loop. Exactly. It's one of the most important things regarding your child, and you are out of the loop. Exactly. So there's nothing wrong with this. This is not snowflakery. Okay? The loop at the guidelines in so many states. So this is now what I'm going somewhere else. Our guidelines in so many states that like there's just those rules. You lose your job. So this is what Blaire is talking about. Let's see. I'm from California, and I agree. What did Cameron say? You're a girl. If you like pink, used to be the ignorant right-wing country take. Exactly. Mocking people for being girly and whatnot. Exactly. I wish I was raised religious. Calvin, really? Why? There is a famous story where a father was going to get in trouble for misgendering his daughter because she went to a school counselor and she felt like a boy. National story. Oh yeah, there's several of those. And then there's the people that are losing custody battles because the one is like, my child is just a normal, my toddler can hardly walk. Toddler is a boy, even though it's actually a girl. Oh no, my toddler wants to be a boy. Like, and it's usually the mother that's pushing this bullshit. Ugh. It really is. It used to be so, and it's so funny that gender being a social construct and whatever, now we have to abolish gender completely. And wait, there's such thing as transgender people, but we don't, but sex doesn't exist. So it's like, whoa, those things don't compute. Do you know that? We can't get rid of gender and then say something is transgender. I don't know. These are, I guess, this is a concept map that I could do. So there's going to be different parts of, that's what I would like to do, I suppose, on top of a conversation like this, is map the concepts involved. So because I don't know how to speak without saying a million things at once, I think that would be better. I'm sorry, Lady Cameron. I'm on StreamYard chat, so I don't know how much I miss. StreamYard chat should give me all chat. Sending California out to sea, is this the last thing? Sending California out to sea might not solve all our problems, but let's try it just in case. I don't know. I might have missed. I mean, Miss 1776 had a 1 of 2, and I didn't see. So look, I can bring up the chat by itself and see if it's different. I'm so sorry if I've missed. I'll pop out the chat, yeah. There we go, and there. Let's see if it's the same. There was an old game, Grumps episode, where Aaron Hansen, Ugaraptor, complains how people thinking him as trans are misogynist because his favorite color is pink. Oh, is he a man? Okay, so there we go. It's mainly Nusi. Sending California. There is a famous story. The story's in Canada. Okay. No, I think I am on it. I'm just not. I'm not reading every single message. There was a shift in U.S. public schools that was pushed to teach kids certain things. Some it's the parents' job, or maybe be others in trans issues. They get kids early. Yeah. There are stories in Canada that can get parents or strip parents of infants because their kid one day goes to school with a therapist because they change genders or say they don't feel that way. Yep. You're misgendering me. That's abuse. And that's the thing. It's like, whoa, guys, we have real abuse. Don't worry about that. But when we're starting to define your parents, your rebellion as you're a rebellion against the norm, and your parents' resistance to your rebellion, if we're starting to define that as abuse, then parenting is abuse. Being a parent is abuse. You're screwed. No, Top Chat is. Oh no, Top Chat's bullshit, man. Cameron. So I think it is fine. It's just. But thank you for reminding me, because it is something that is a problem. Anyway, let's continue. Okay, so he's just saying that. So then we've got. Come on, we can do this. Come on.
Guidelines in so many states,
Mhm.
you know, it's like that's just those are the rules, and you can
Mhm.
lose your job if you do not follow that protocol.
Yeah.
Hold on, guys. I do want to change something. I want to put some tags in here. I don't think many people find us while we're live. They find me afterwards. But I'm just going to do this in YouTube Studio quick. Talk amongst yourselves. Oh my gosh. I've just got this reminder for you.
Go and subscribe. You shit.
Just in case. But I think most of you are subscribed in any case. All of you, actually. I just thought I could do that as a joke. Funny joke. Playlist, debate diagram. Blaire White. And issues. Destiny. Debate. Right. Okay, cool. I don't think that'll help us get discovered more, but whatever. We'll be discovered at a later date. What? Restream back-end chats is always all messages that's left. Well, we're on StreamYard now. Look how big your face is on StreamYard. Go and subscribe, you shits. But did the people remember to like the stream? That's so true, darling. Did they? These mothers. Did they? Oh, lol, that was my bad. The first message I wrote was too long, so I was going to make it a two-parter. However, I forgot what I had originally written for part 2 and felt what I had said was needed to in part 1. Yeah, I thought so. I mean, it was really good. I was just like, is there more? Because it's good as it is. Boo, StreamYard. Listen, it's got a bit more customizability, which has allowed for this layout instead of tiny little Chintzia in the bottom there. While she's diagramming. Okay. Continue. Let us hear, Blaire, what you say.
So there has to be like there has to be like more, and I truly feel this way, as cocked as the position is, you have to be able to approach these conversations with more empathy so that people feel heard. Because like there are empathetic approaches to all of this.
Hold on.
Cocked is
Not follow that protocol. Guidelines in so many states, you
Mhm.
know, it's like that's just those are the rules, and you can
Mhm.
lose your job if you do not follow that protocol.
Yeah. So there has to be like there has to be like more, and I truly feel this way, as cocked as the position is, you have to be able to approach these conversations with more empathy so that people feel heard. Because like there are empathetic approaches to all of this that can even lead us to uncomfortable places. Like I said before, like I'm fully willing to admit, like if I found out after like 2 months that the school was doing an investigation with my kid because they were worried about abuse, and I find out at the end of that well, he shows up at school sometimes with weird marks on him or whatever, I might be irritated, but it's like, okay, I understand, right? Sure, if my kid has like weird marks on him, you think we're whatever. It's irritating to me, but sure, I get it, you know. But it has to come from like an empathetic place where you have to understand the ask you're making of parents to allow these policies are fucking huge. You know, and to some extent, like schools are the largest educators and babysitters and safeguards of our children. They spend more time with children collectively than like any single babysitter, any single family member will. You know, as soon as that kid turns 4, 5, or 6, depending if they go to pre-K or not, like, yeah, it's so much. And if you feel like your school is passing, like, socially speaking, there are some things that I'm comfortable saying, if you don't like it, fuck you, we're leaving you in the dust. Okay, it's okay to teach kids in schools, for instance, like gay people are real and they exist. Okay, at least by like 4th or 5th grade. If you can't handle that, fuck you. But like the idea that like we're gonna start doing like the whole trans discourse and the pronouns and everything is probably too much. Socially, we're definitely not all there yet. This is a hugely contentious issue, even among Democrats, even among trans people. As you said, these are contentious issues. So to be teaching these things to kids in grade school at all, that's too big of an ask. You're lacking in empathy there, I think, for the parents, if you think that you can pass a policy like that and expect everybody to be okay with it.
So do you think that the onus is on the...
Okay, so he took a little detour, but basically he's just reiterated what Blaire said, which is great. This is agreeing. We told you that they were going to agree. So his little bit that he said was just a little offering to the leftists. It was, look, I know that some parents are really crazy about this and they snowflake out, but I'm agreeing that that it can go too far. That's what he's doing. So all that shit in the beginning falls down the drain, and that's okay. It's not a gotcha. This is what Destiny thinks. So if you just took that little bit that he said over there and you cut that off, and you'd be like, that's what Destiny thinks. No, that's not what Destiny thinks. He thinks a lot more than that. And he agrees with Blaire. What it called? Destiny pretending he sees his kid ever is hilarious. Lol. Sending watch time. Hey, Butters! Oh, well, thank you. Send me all of that watch time. Thanks. Lurk hard for me. Okay. Also, my AirPod thingy-majiggies, my Samsung Buds, have stayed in, even though I've gotten very animated. Daisy! Oh, Daisy did a blip. Okay. Cool. This is basically him reiterating. So I'm just gonna put here Blaire's thing over here. Okay, so blah blah blah. Just those are rules and use your job. So that's happening. Kid never going back to school. Those are the guidelines. Those are the guidelines. People lose their job over it. Follow that protocol. Okay. And then there has to be like more, and I truly feel this way, as cucked a position as you have to approach the conversation with more empathy, so you feel hurt, because like there are empathetic approaches to all of this that can lead us to uncomfortable places. Okay, so I think that Destiny is he's making this more palatable to his own audience, because he's like, I'm just being empathetic. He's covering all of this in this empathy rainbow. He's like, he goes, because he continues here. I wanted to make it just jokingly as cucked a position as it is, but empathetic approach. Ha! Fuck you. So I think here, this uncomfortable places is, you know what? Hey, progressives, Destiny's saying something that's going to make you feel uncomfortable. Hold on to your high knees. There's an empathetic approach to all of this that even leads to uncomfortable places. Like I said, I'm fully willing to admit. There we go. I wanted him to do it, and he did. Yay! I'd admit that if I found out after 2 months that the school was doing an investigation with my kid, so this is more story time with Destiny, man. Kid, if I found out there was an investigation into my kid because of weird marks, and I only found about it I just want to talk. I could copy paste, but whatever. Found out about it months later. I'd be pissed. Whatever. I'd be pissed. I'd be irritated. But I get it. But I get it. Okay. Empathetically, we've got to. Parents must, but I get it. You have to understand. But I get it. So he's saying he's okay with that policy. He's like, here is my sacrifice to you wokies, which is not a woke position. Sorry. Being against child abuse is not a woke position. Okay, so, we want policies where parents where you can investigate possible abuse. Sweet, okay? But I get it. But then he's saying, have to understand the huge ask. Understand the ask that you're making of parents to allow these policies. Largest educators and babysitters safeguard our children. They spend more time with our children collectively than any single babysitter, any single family member. Okay, so schools in contact. Okay. School is passing, like socially speaking, there's some things I'm comfortable saying if you don't like. So there we go. Okay, so what's going through our Destiny's head here? Because he's like, he goes on this story about the kid having weird marks and getting investigated, and him being okay with that and being irritated with it, but being okay with it. And then that was, you're asking parents to be okay with that. Then he goes to this listen to see how he changes this.
It's so much. And if you feel like you're a single babysitter, any single family member will, as soon as that kid turns 4, 5, or 6, depending if they go to pre-K or not, like, yeah.
He's doing the thing. He's got all of the concepts in his head. Look. This is the school. Oh my God. It's like listening to my own stream where you're just like, yes, I know that there's lots of things in your brain right now, but we don't need to talk about them.
It's so much. And if you feel like your school is passing, like,
you see, if you feel like your school is passing, what? Okay, no.
Socially speaking, there are some things that I'm comfortable saying. If you don't like it, fuck you. We're leaving you in the dust.
No, Andrew told me to look at the transcript. He wanted me to. Vincent, yes. So I didn't pick it up from him. He put that. He said, "Yeah, I require this." But a lot of some of the debates and things don't have transcripts, and some of them, like when it came to like Dyson and whatever, trying to navigate them just wasn't as good. But because these two people actually take turns in their conversation, it's really helped out. So comfortable saying. So he goes from that story about school. Look at this. This is incredible. I love this. Okay. So he goes, empathetic approach, bringing us to uncomfortable places. So he's thinking of something that's some concept is brought to mind that people are, this is going to be uncomfortable. Okay. If I found out there was an investigation into my kid, so he goes into that story that, yeah, it would be irritating, but it's fine. Okay. It would be irritating that we're investigating Destiny's kid for weird marks, but he gets it, right? So he understands that. Then you need to understand what he's then saying is you need to understand what you're asking of parents to allow these policies. So that's the other side of it where you don't get it. You're asking parents to not get annoyed or irritated. Is that what we're talking about? Then he goes, schools are in contact with kids more than any individual sitter. Perfectly valid point. Okay. Tangent. Okay, there's something that I'm comfortable. Then like your school is passing socially, then it's passing, and then what are you saying? Passing doesn't matter. Fragment. There are some things that I'm comfortable saying. If you don't like it, we're leaving you in the dust. Okay, so interesting. Okay, this is not something that I need to map, but considering sentence structure, what are you talking about? Okay, there's some things that I'm comfortable saying if you don't like it. So what are the things that what is he anticipating? Because he's always anticipating what somebody's going to say about what he's saying, and he's comfortable. Okay, so this is he's comfortable saying. Okay, I'm going to do this. What he's comfortable saying is that that gay people exist, and you know what? Cool. Well done. What a hero. Nobody gives a fuck. Honestly, nobody who is worth a fuck gives a fuck. Okay, that gay people exist. Like it's not a big deal to them. Okay, you were leaving you in the dust. Okay, it's okay to teach. So he's saying, okay, if you don't like it. So actually, I'm going to take that away. So he's worried about her audience. I think that's what he's saying here. He's worried about what her audience is going to think. Not that he's censoring, it's just that he's trying to word it with that in mind. Okay. And he goes, just by the way, fuck you if you don't agree. That's what, okay. It's okay to teach kids in schools, for instance, like gay people are real. Okay, and they exist. At least fourth or fifth. If you can't handle them, then fuck you. So that's the point that he was scared of saying. It's okay to teach kids in schools that gay people exist. That gay people are real. Oh my god, thank you. Okay. And then I'm gonna say at least fourth or fifth grade. Oh my god, don't move! Don't snore at me. So yeah, if you can't handle that, fuck you. That's what he's. I'm gonna take that out here and put that here. If you can't handle that, that's too. Oh, that earbud turned off. Anyway, that's to her audience. Then fuck. Okay. So he's pissing everybody off. So he's now supposedly pissed off. The internet is finally fixed. Celebrate good times. Come on. Yeah. That means tomorrow's stream is actually happening. Why does teach gay people are real feel like such a straw man? Because what it means is as if the majority of people out there, the conservatives, are trying to keep the existence of the gays away from the kids. It's both sides are just talking shit about the other side. Oh no, what you are saying is that you don't want any kids knowing about gay things. It's like, no, we just don't want to just gratuitously describe the butt sex. Okay. Kitty, you have me in tears. What a hero. Who gives a fuck? I'm dying. Yeah, it's true. You're not a hero. I'm glad that you're crying. Good. No, tears of joy. We want those. Okay. People okay. If you can't handle that, then fuck you. I agree. If you can't handle I do. There are people that are that fucking annoying and staunchly against gay people. It's like that. No, okay. Those are the people that still believe that people aren't born gay. Those are the people that like, oh, they're turning people gay. They're just the idea. No, okay. But now, the whole thing of making just normal sexuality the evil, that actually is there is something to be said about that. Anyway, I'm just repeating myself. Definitely not. There's a hugely contentious issue even among Democrats. Okay, we're gonna start doing the whole trans discourse. Okay, so now he's going into his other side. So he is centrist in this. He's going to the other thing of this is the other uncomfortable place for the other people, where he says if we're doing the trans discourse and the pronouns and everything, it's probably too much. We're definitely not there. There's a huge contentious issue. So he's repeating what Blaire has said. What Blaire said earlier was that there's no consensus. They're basically teaching the extreme side of the LGBT doctrine. Basically, it's like like any religion where you have the really extremely high Catholic thing that it's like a highly Orthodox Catholic that if the host falls on the floor, you have to clean it with the holy water and all of that stuff. That sort of really dogmatic belief. No, what is it called? Not fanatical. Is it? Yeah, fanatical. They're teaching them the extreme part of it instead of just like God exists. So yeah, they're actually just making them do sacrifices and things to this God instead of just, hey, some people believe in God. That's as far as you can as it should go. Doing like the whole trans discourse. So also Destiny says like a lot. Everything, it's probably too much socially. We're definitely not there yet. That is a cop-out wording. What do you mean we're not there socially yet? What does that mean? Does that mean that we should get there? So when it's not a contentious issue, then we can do it? Okay, whatever. That's a lot of weaselly wording there for me. Even among the Democrats, among trans people. So let me go. So this is probably too much. Probably. I don't like that. Probably. I didn't. This is the one that you refused to put in the fridge.
So aggressive.
No, they don't get to see your face, Wilson.
No, but they get to hear the tone.
The tone. Are you abused?
I am abused.
Oh, I love you.
Send help.
Oh, God. Oh, FBI. Tip 420 saying, why do you think your content appeals to suspected baby hand eaters like Calvin Patrick? I'm not too sure. Do I have small hands? Is that it? I don't know. I cannot say why my content appeals to anyone. Anyone! I don't know. Ask him. I feel like you should know. You will know him quite well. FBI. People are always abusers. Jeez. Sorry. So cis. I'm so cis. That's what you were trying to say. Cat. I thought you were saying cis, but I get it. Okay, anyway, the whole discourse, pronouns and everything, that's probably, I hate that he said probably, too much socially, okay? There's no consensus. Even among Democrats, no consensus. No, contentious issue. So he's just saying what Blaire said, that there is not even a consensus, and now you're teaching this to people. These are contentious issues to be teaching these kids in grade school, and that's all too big of an ask. You're lacking an empathy there, I think, for parents if you think that you can pass a policy like that and expect everyone to be okay with it. So do you think, there we go. Well, that's very nice. That's very nice. I think that will be a separate point, and this is his main point. It took him a while to get there, but I travel the same path to get my thoughts out of my head, so I could not judge him. Talking is hard. Okay. Now, when Blaire does it, it's so easy. Look how she just goes, la 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 la, here is an idea. I just worded it perfectly.
Big of an ask. You're lacking in empathy there, I think, for the parents, if you think that you can pass a policy like that and expect everyone to be okay with it.
So do you think that the onus is on the Democrats to just fucking drop that? Like, how do we fix that? Because I mean, I fucking agree. And it's crazy that we agree on so much when you and I, it's like, I would imagine that if someone were to put us both in like some kind of like meme of like a political compass, they would put us like so far apart, but we're finding so much common ground on this, which I'm happy about. But so
what's this? Did you have the other one? What about the pink one? See if it's alive. I'll taste it. Thank you for offering. That's very sweet. He says he is sweet. I think he's sweet. You think Destiny fooled around with Lauren Southern? I don't know, but there's rumors. No. Oh, we can't share it. Oh, is it water? Wow, it's not that hot in here. Jeez. Okay, but just put it in the freezer. But look at the freezer when you open it. How the condensation goes. Look at it. I want to taste, yeah, please. Just a little bit, not a lot, please, my baby. Hi, sorry. We needed that break. Okay, continue. So, is the onus? How do we fix that? Okay. The way she words it, which is at least a little bit more like me. At least I can understand. Like, she's like, I thought she was going to do a clear question, but she was like, she asked the question and then reworded it. People do these things. Okay. Do you think the onus is on? Do you think the onus is on the Democrats to just drop that? Oh, okay. Okay. Drop that. How do we fix that? Because I agree. It's crazy that we agree on so much. Okay, that's a different. How do we fix that? And then we agree on so much. We're considered. Okay, so different politically. Apart, finding us so much common ground, which I'm happy, but it's what is like the solution to that? Do they drop it?
Moderate it.
I feel like the solution is the strength of your conviction.
Oh, this. When I heard this, I was like, I want to ask chat what they think of this. Okay.
Has to match I feel like the solution is the strength of your conviction has to match with the position that you hold. So, for instance, when it comes,
The strength. I feel like the solution is the strength of your. So he presents this as a solution. Okay. Actually, I'll bring it like this. Okay, and go. Yeah. The strength of your conviction has to match with the position that you hold. Yeah, I get that. I think it's what he's saying is the strength of your you need to be able to back your shit up. Okay, is that the solution? Okay, so what? Please expand upon this. I don't think I understand what that means. Yeah, okay, exactly, Lucy. So it's like, okay, so listen, let's read it. The strength of your conviction has to match with the position that you hold. So on the surface, before we go into what's next, but because this was shower thoughts. I just heard this come through and was like, that's definitely something we got to ask, right? Okay, so yes, you've got to match your position, because if your position is weak, but if your argument is weak, but you have such a very high strength of conviction for something that is so wrong, yeah, that's not going to work. That's what my initial thought. Now let's go on to the next part of his sentence.
comes to trans healthcare for adults, I have a lot of conviction there, and I think I would fight a lot on those grounds. We should fight.
Okay, so for instance, trans healthcare. Lots of conviction. I would fight a lot on those grounds. Okay, I'm going to say that. Would fight a lot on those grounds. I'll let him continue, because we're supposed to let him finish speaking, and then we'll go through it.
Against that legislatively, fight against people trying to take those rights away legislatively. That's a really big ground to fight on. When it comes to instance for children, I would like to be able to provide the best healthcare with children possible, including trans healthcare, but you have to acknowledge that there is a limited amount of research here, and that these are areas that are still highly contentious, even medically. So that should probably be reserved for like a research environment. So you scale back the conviction there. When it comes to teaching stuff to kids in school, bro, there's so much shit we need to learn already that we don't, okay? How the fuck do you do laundry? How the fuck do you do your taxes? Okay, like, maybe we should work on that stuff before, like, breaking out, like, LGBT, IQAA, two-spirit fucking ideology to kids in 7th grade. Maybe they don't need that type of education yet. Like, yeah, just find the places where we have the most agreement and the most evidence available. Those are where your conviction should be the strongest, and the majority of your time should be spent fighting. For areas that are more contentious, especially if they're hurting your main areas, you either drop those, put them on the back burner, or you have very careful, measured fights there, right? Okay. Trans athletes should not be an issue where we're willing to die. When I say we, I mean us progressives. We shouldn't be willing to die on the hill of eliminating women's sports. That's fucking insane. We shouldn't be dying on the hill of, like...
This is a repetition of the previous...
SRS for minors. That's insane. It's very easy to give those away. They affect such a slight minority of even the trans population, and these battles are doing big harm to the broader populations that you're trying to protect. So
it's again a repetition from the previous discussion, the previous parts. Go back to part 1 and 2.
That's what I would say. Yeah, find the areas with the most research, the most conviction, or find the areas with the most research, the most cohesion, and then put all your conviction there, fight there, and then for the more nebulous, out of their topics, like, let them whatever.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that's what he means. So put your conviction where you actually can fight. Yeah, because there is contention when it comes to because you can, basically what he's saying is, because you can back trans healthcare for adults. Fight for that. Oh, but you already have it. So then leave it. Leave it. That's it. That's all you need. Don't fight for more. And now what this is actually doing, as he said, is it's caused more damage. You are not endearing yourselves to people by going after the kids. You know, it's become about the trans kids. It's like, whoa, why did it have to do that? He's like, okay, at least he says that's a question we can have about research, but he wants trans healthcare for kids as well. They slightly differ on that. Yeah. Put your weight where you have footing. Ooh, I like that, Gaz. That's so true. I think that's a better way of wording it. Mm-hmm. Gaz Baz. That's right, Baz without a capital. Put your weight where you have footing. Have ooting. Yeah, that is a better way to put it. Much better. Far superior. Thank you. Actually, can we put that over here? There you go. I know I'm being pedantic. Just there we go. There. Okay, would fight on those grounds. Okay, so that's what he's trying to say. There should be some more moderate researchers to study how politics help. He's like, oh, you can't though. You see, because the actual institutions doing the research are captured, so you're not allowed. If your research question is not fitting the narrative, you're supposed to go out there and confirm your biases, your woke biases. Okay. Let's see. Okay. I'm gonna have to map the way that he spoke about this. Am I? Yes. I mean, the way that Gaz put it is so perfect. Yes, where the most evidence is available. There we go. So this is the closest he gets to saying it nicely. Is the most evidence available for those where your conviction should be strongest. And he says he does misspeak. He says the majority of your time should be spent on parts that are more contentious. That's actually against what he says in the rest of his thing. Do you think he says, listen to this, he misspeaks, yeah.
Ideology to kids in 7th grade, maybe they don't need that type of education yet. Like, yeah, just find the places where we have the most agreement and the most evidence available. Those are where your conviction should be the strongest, and the majority of your time should be spent fighting for areas that are more contentious, especially if they're hurting you.
Okay, he did have a pause. It was a very small pause, but he's saying for areas where, so there was a pause for areas where there is contention. What? I'm probably right, yeah.
Your main areas, you either drop those, put them on the back burner, or you have very careful, measured fights there, right? Trans athletes should not be an issue where we're willing to die. When I say we, I mean us progressives. We shouldn't be willing to die on the hill of.
Okay, so I'm just going to put his list of things. Yeah, trans.
We shouldn't be dying on athletes. The hill of like SRS for minors. That's insane. It's very easy to give those away. They affect such a slight minority of even the trans population, and these battles are doing big harm to the broader populations that you're trying to protect. So that's what I would say. Yeah, find the areas with the most research, the most conviction, or find the areas with the most research, the most cohesion, and then put all your conviction there, fight there, and then for the more nebulous, out of their topics, like let them whatever.
Absolutely, because I think that the hysteria just
we've had this
like acting like everything is of equal importance is just fucking insane and just fucks everyone up. All right, we've gone here for an hour and 20 minutes.
Okay, so this is the extra thing.
But, yeah.
Okay, the part that comes now is another part that is cut out as a clickbaity title that says Destiny calls Blaire out. So I'm going to start a new thing over here. Maybe I'll even start a new map. Yeah, sorry. Destiny calls Blaire out. So, okay, there is this one bit here that they talk about where it's like, oh, why are they seen as so politically against each other? Okay, so I'll let that go. But then the calling out bit is what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, well, I guess I'll end with this. Like, why the fuck are you and I posed as like so different when we were able to find this much common ground? Does this mean that like you're moving right or I'm moving left, or are we just normal fucking people? Like, what is that?
I think that's a good question as well. That it's just where we found. Okay, we found common ground, right? Is this because I'm moving left or you're moving right? Okay, that isn't a good question. What that is no, they're just actually speaking to each other without hating each other.
There's
Aww, my earbuds are gonna go flat. I'm gonna put on my headset now. BRB. Imagine not being a fence sitter. Okay, let's change our audio. Seal stairs. Okay. Can you guys still hear it? You can't hear? You can't hear the video? Don't lie to me. Here it now. I've changed it. So, I wish Destiny always sounded this way. Yeah, some people don't like this. Okay, wait, no. Do you hear him? I don't know if I should reload the. Now your volume is low. Ah, fuck! It's the system. It's the system audio. Just hold on. There we go. If I do that, it should be really loud now. Wait, now this is going to be low. Okay, and this is that loud? You're back. Okay, I'm back. But now, what was that? Was that loud? Audio problems with kidding. No volume on video. Fuck off, really? I hate this. Wait. Oh, that's not going to change anything. How does that work? Honestly, it's the system audio. You just put the system. What am I? Headset, earphone, headphones. There we go. Let's see this. The browser lost connection to your screen share audio. Try sharing your screen again. Restart the browser. Okay, that's fine. Okay, let's hold on. Move. Out the stream. Let me actually stop this. Present. Okay. Oh crap! Hold on. Crap. Well, now there's no background audio on screen. It's... Got it. That's true. Thank you. That is exactly what I wanted. I love you. Okay.
Reconciling the differences that you have ideologically and politically. But when people start getting into groups, there's a whole bunch of really horrible things that happen to how your mind processes things.
Yeah, you know what? I was changing. Okay, have I? Oh, let me just stop this. Hold on. Automatically. Okay, I'll just change mic for a sec. Change microphone. It's just because I changed audio. It should be. Okay, back. Audio fine. Okay, guys, are we good? StreamYard, you being a dick. You're proving Blaine right. This is the sorbet. And yeah, it's non-dairy. You can totally tell. It just didn't cope with the paint audio. Let's continue. Let's see if you guys can hear the video. Video check, let's go. Come on. Teamwork's the dream work.
Things, right? Like if I'm on my own, I can play like a PlayStation and I can play an Xbox. But as soon as I join a group of people where we're all like play PlayStation, well, the Xbox guys are like,
and I mean, I can hear, but woo! Yes, that was yeah, that was lovely, wasn't it? You could see all the berry juice and things. Okay, let's go. Thank you for sticking around through the audio. You thought audio issues only happen in the beginning of the stream. Haha! Foiled you. Okay, fooled you, not foiled you. I foiled my own audio. Okay. Okay, you're moving right. Now, his broad story explanation is that people are stupid.
the biggest fucking shitter loot.
So let's go back, so you guys can be on the same.
Maybe when I was like really little.
There's a moment where Jay and Kay are sitting on the bench, and I think Jay says to Kay, he's like, why don't you reveal aliens and tell the whole human planet that they exist? And Kay responds back, because Jay says, because people are smart, like they'll be okay. And Kay responds back and says, a person is smart, but people are stupid. And I think what happens is, I find this so many times, I'm sure you find this too, if you can sit a person down, you can talk to a person one-on-one, and then you can show a lot of empathy and understand their position, I think you can make a lot of progress towards reconciling the differences that you have ideologically and politically. But when people start getting into groups, there's a whole bunch of really horrible things that happen to how your mind processes things, right? Like if I'm on my own, I can play like a PlayStation and I can play an Xbox. But as soon as I join a group of people where we're all like play PlayStation, well, the Xbox guys are like the biggest fucking shitter losers in the history of all of mankind. So yeah, I think that the things that, and this is annoying because it's going to happen over and over again, is you can have a decent conversation with a person one-on-one, but as soon as people get into like these larger groups, like the battles just continue to wage on, and it's really hard for people to step outside of that group mindset. Is like, okay, well, hold on, maybe it's not fair that I'm defining the entirety of my opposition to this one video that I saw on Lids of TikTok, and then similarly, you know, for people on the left, maybe it's not okay to define the entire conservative movement based on this one tweet that I saw from Michael Knowles or this Alex Jones clip. But man, when you're in those groups, there's very little reward for thinking that way, and oftentimes there's actually a lot of punishment for thinking that way. Like if I'm in a group of progressives and I say, like, you know, maybe this particular statement that Matt Walsh made isn't that horrible, right? You're gonna get excommunicated.
Oh, good
You're
luck.
fucking over it. Yeah. But there's a lot of reward for you get a lot of social reward for like, look at these fucking losers, look at this fucking moron, look at this, look at this, look at this. So yeah, the social rewards and everything, the internet's way of like monetizing this and advertising this, like yeah, the group mentality I think is what fucks a lot of these conversations up hardcore. Yeah.
I think that's exactly what has happened. The groups have said that these people disagree because of the groups that they're part of. And the people in Destiny's group hate Blaire. And I suppose there's people in Blaire's group that hate Destiny, right? So they've decided, because these people like Blaire but hate Destiny, they've decided they hate Destiny, therefore he disagrees with Blaire. And vice versa. Okay, let's see what Zerofax is saying. This part is so true. When you're in a group, you are only as strong as your weakest link. So if you have someone in a group that wants to interrupt or get violent, a good discussion cannot be had. Exactly. So if somebody is going to be bad faith in that group and that group itself doesn't self-correct, doesn't go and say, hey, Oaks, that's stupid, you're generalizing all of that, then there's not going to be a productive discussion. And the prisoner's dilemma kicks in, so others in the group wouldn't want to say off the opinion because they don't want to be ousted. Exactly, Zerofax. It's exactly it. People are dumb is what that argument is. So let's actually just say, and his explanation is, people are dumb. Oopsie, don't print that. Person is smart, people are dumb. And it's group mentality, and defining your opposition entire based on one video. And then it's the little reward for pointing out nuances. Okay, I'm just rewording this because it is very wordy, because Destiny says lots of words. Little reward for pointing out nuances, oftentimes punishment for nuance for pointing those out. Reward for generalizations. Okay, I'm going to give Zerofax. I'm going to write your thing here, Zerofax, as well. It's a nice summary. This is part. Okay, I'm going to have to transcribe it because copy pasting stuff is just difficult from here. This part is so true. Okay. When you are in a group, come on, Jinsia, type. You are only as strong as your weakest link. If you have someone willing to, or who wants to. Watch me type! A group who wants to interrupt or get violent, then I'm not going to say then, a good discussion cannot be had. Perfect. And the prisoner's dilemma. Dilemma kicks in. Others. I'm breaking it up into a diagram. Others in the group. Say off. Say the off opinion. Of Europe being acid. Because they don't want to be acid. That is the TLDR, Andrew. I'll put that there, Andrew Clark. Andrew Clark. Yep, people are dumb. There we go, guys. There's our beautiful diagram. And then we'll do this. Okay, oh, beautiful. Collaboration. Okay. Cool. Continue.
Absolutely. I mean, the fact that there is inevitably going to be a large amount of people on the internet that once they even see like the thumbnail for this or people talking about this, they're going to be like, why the fuck is Blaire platforming him or him platforming Blaire? Like, that is such a fucking problem. Like, that's one of the biggest problems, right? Is that
my school teacher always said a group of boys has the intelligence of the stupidest boy, halved for every additional boy in the group. That makes a lot of sense. I'm sorry. It really does. I've been so interested in group dynamics the past few years. Yeah, group dynamics are insane. It's it is very interesting. And we are never going to be without groups. Because we're humans. Humans are always going to fall into groups. There's always going to be an in-group and an out-group.
like this is a rational discussion and it's going to be treated as if there was harm done by having it. So I hate that.
Sure. Yeah.
All right. I know that you said that.
So here is the. I'm unmapping that little bit of the conversation, the snippet. Probably explains why me and a friend made a bomb in his room instead of outside. Exactly. Oh, lady, you mean Lord Cameron, not you. Okay, so here's the part where he calls her out, apparently.
We can cut this out. You had like sent a message with like a couple things that you wanted to like question me on. So I wanted to like, if you still have those in mind, we can do that, or we can do an outro. It's up to you.
I think my questions were generally answered. I guess like my kind of general question is, have you ever heard of I think it's called like the Gelman amnesia effect or something?
The Gelman amnesia effect. No.
Fuck man, I gotta. Yeah, I think Gelman amnesia. So basically, what'll happen is you're reading a newspaper. You flip through the pages, you believe everything you see, and then let's say you're a mechanical engineer. On page 6, you read something about an engineering process, and you're like, wait, this is the dumbest thing I've ever read in my life. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. And then you turn the page, and it's not in your area of expertise, and now you believe everything again, right? So it's like the idea that like you might listen to somebody, but when they stumble into an area of expertise, you're like, wait a second, I don't trust anything this person's saying. But then you seem to forget that when they're talking about things that are outside of your area of expertise, right?
Gotcha.
Do you? I'm curious for you. This is kind of loaded against you and conservatives. I don't mean it that way, but it's just
That's
if you
fine.
ever, yeah.
If anything, ask me something spicy so we can clickbait this as like a heated debate or something.
Sure.
They did do that.
Yeah. So being trans gives you a unique perspective on trans issues and social issues among like conservatives and Republicans. Do you ever see the way that they treat trans people in trans discourse and then pause and wonder, well, fuck, if they treat trans people this way, maybe I've missed, as a result of being part of this group, like things they might say about like fucking feminists or minorities or whatever. Like, does that ever make you wonder in terms of like the overall view of the party and other topics that don't directly involve like your lifestyle?
Okay, so are we understanding the question? Because she does ask for clarity, but I want to go from here. So what he's just asked, right? He's saying, so he wants us to, first he explains the gentleman's amnesia, which is, okay, you are reading, when we see, and I'm not going to go and look it up. I want to work within the conversation that we're having here. When we see something within our area of expertise, we're willing to criticize it. Not believe. I'm going to put this, not believe what's in the newspaper, not believe. About engineering in your engineer. Okay. And then the opposite, well, yeah, that you, so when you have expertise, you know, but then you're willing to, you suspend your disbelief, more willing everything when it's not. Okay, so I can definitely understand why Blaire is like, okay, how does that apply to trans issues? Because now his area, he's saying her area of expertise, and he says this is loaded against, what's that, loaded? Okay, it's the warning that it's loaded against conservatives. Now, if we apply that to Blaire, okay, then basically, so I'm going to put the floating topic. If we're applying it to Blaire, okay, is it because trans is expertise? And then she has blind spots for rest of conservative. That's what he's saying she does. So he's saying, do you have a blind spot? Have you, so then let me now literally map out how he puts this for his question. Okay, he goes, you have a neat perspective of trans issues and social issues amongst conservatives. Do you ever see, do you ever see the way that they treat trans people in trans discourse? And then pause and wonder, if they treat trans people this way, what have missed the result of being part of this group? What would they say about minorities or whatever? So what? Because you're on their side for the trans things, you are suddenly blind to their bigotry? Is that what he's asking? He does unnecessarily swear. God, maybe jeez, I am very much like this person. Do you ever see the way that they treat trans people in trans discourse? Conservatives treat trans people and trans discourse and wonder if they treat trans people this way, maybe I've missed, as a result of being part of that group, the things they might say about feminists and minorities. Cool. So blind spot because conservative. Okay.
You mean, so I observe the way in which they can be nasty about trans people. Do you think that I maybe don't see when they are nasty about other groups of people? Mm-hmm. That's probably true. I probably, we all have our own biases, and I probably give some people, I'm not even going to say probably, I absolutely have, in the history of this, 7-8 year career I've had, I've absolutely been guilty of giving people way too much, what's the word? leeway, I guess,
Mhm.
and assuming the best of people that really were bad, right? So like
Mhm.
I would say like maybe once or twice a year, I find out something really horrible about like another like right wing commentator, and I'm like, oh, this person was like the devil the entire fucking time. Fuck this person.
Mhm.
It's like, oh, this person is just going straight up anti-gay, and like I know that they're actually gay in real life, and that's a whole secret. And she knows
Yeah.
life. That's, by the way, libs are correct when they talk about that. Libs are absolutely correct when they talk about how so many people on the political right that are like commentators.
Does this make you think Ben Shapiro is gay? Because a lot of people that don't like Ben Shapiro think he's gay, and it's also because the whole view of viewing being gay as a sin is so ancient and stupid. Because look, okay, so I understand that people take it from the Bible and they say, look, it's a sin. But the problem with that view is it's not a choice. It's you are born that way. So what Christians are expecting of gay people is that they must now be abstinent. Okay, so it's something that oh, they're born this way, so it's a sin. They now need to be abstinent. It's not just the way that they are. It's not natural. It's not. Whereas a heterosexual couple can have sex and not have children. It's not sinful. You can be a fundamentalist and say that it is sinful if you're not doing it for procreation, but that's far off in the distance there. But yeah, people that think homosexuality is a sin, I just have a problem with that because there's no choice in the matter, and having a something, when something is sinful, it shouldn't be within. I know there's sin is within our nature, violence, all of that sort of stuff, but the way that that sits just doesn't sit well with me. Anyway, part of the reason that I do go, ooh, it would be hilarious if Ben Shapiro was gay, because he's one of those people that actually will say it's a sin. But then again, he's not going to go and lock gay people up. He's just going to say, in my religion, that's not right. This whole topic is super dumb. I find this whole topic super dumb, not in concept, but as applied to Blaire and other political commentators. Oh, what, you mean the gentleman thingy? This thing. Gentleman amnesia. If Ben came out gay to own the lips, yeah, he's not going to do that. But I do often think that this is who she's talking about, but she's not naming names.
Haters are secretly gay. The amount of like gay motherfucker. Anyway.
Yeah.
They're gossiping.
Nothing
These little
blackballs you more on,
bitches
like,
over
the
here are
rumor and shit.
gossiping.
Whenever
Look at
a
them go.
political topic, and I'm sure you know this because you're friends with so many people, whenever like a topic blows up and you see like all the really conspiratorial like conservatives, especially like the
I'm just
Fuentes
gonna see if
Miley
Axel has
like how
food.
they'll start talking like, oh well, this is really what's going on behind the scenes, and you're like, wait, I know everything that's going on. None of this is true. You're making up all of this, and then you wonder like, how much shit do you read where people are just totally speculating on shit they know nothing about? Like, because like the two things people love the most, people love gossiping, okay, about shit that they know about. People really love gossiping about shit that they know nothing about. Like,
Yeah.
they will say the most random shit. Yeah, it happens on the left too, to be fair. Yeah, but
Yeah, and there's those moments all the time for me. Like the Kanye shit was like an eye opener on several things. It's like there were a bunch of people who I'm like, oh wow, so I
So they're just busy gossiping, so I'm not going to diagram this until we get to something. There's quite a lot more left, so I don't know where they get to, but let's continue. It is their area of expertise, so it's not applicable. What you're saying? So this is actually, it's still within her area of expertise. Yeah, I don't think she's blind to it. I think that it means that I think this concept, the way he framed it, the way that she understood the question, is the way he should have asked it. That does she maybe give people on the conservative side too much leeway? That's as close as it could get. I don't think she's blind to it. She's literally just telling She's telling you that she expects the best of people, and then they show her otherwise. What? I grew up on 160 outside of town. I have trouble still with crowding of cities. You. Someone doing the dishes on stream. That was me feeding the cats. Okay.
Thought that this level of anti-Semitism was largely dead and gone by 2023 on the political right, and oh wow, it's not. Same thing with after the Nashville tragedy.
Not mapping this.
I was like, oh wow, a lot of people that I thought had more rational or like grounded opinions on trans shit are actually, they've just been waiting for
That's
an opportunity to be
here.
like, fuck all these people, eradicate transgenderism. I'm not speaking specifically of Michael Knowles. I've always known he's an asshole, but
that's funny.
Yeah, but I also think that there's a misconception that this is probably a misconception that a lot of people that watch you and that don't watch me, or that are more tuned to people who hate me, would think, is that I feel like all these conservatives, speaking of like famous commentators and stuff, are like my friends or like good people, and it's like, I don't believe that for a fucking second. I am so closed off with who I see as a good person, let in, see as like a productive member of the conversation. But what's funny is there's a huge misconception by people.
Is it gel man? Are you serious? Is it gel man? Not gentleman, it's gel man. Is it really? I'm changing it. I hope you get better soon. Land is the best investment these days. Never forget Nick was close to Marlo. We know what Marlo is.
People on the left about who really is a bad person and who isn't a good person, whether or not you agree with them. So for example, like I'll post a picture with my friend Alex Jones.
That's also very important. Just because you agree with the person doesn't mean that they're a good person. That's the moral judgment is placed upon the leftists. They go, you disagree with me, therefore you're the worst person ever. So then it follows, oh, you agree with me, therefore you're the best person ever. That's not applied. She is now telling us that that's not how she applies it. And I think from that, I do want to map that. So she says, just because I don't see conservative commentators if that's good. Because they agree with me. Okay, so there I just want to put the floating topic of you disagree, therefore you're the devil. You agree with me, you're an angel. Applied to Blaire. If Blaire applied this, Knowles would but she thinks he's she knows. Okay, cool. So that's there. Nice commentary. Come back here. This connection's got to be floaty. Let it be free. Thank you. Okay, cool. Oh, now she's gonna talk about Alex Jones.
And without fail, those pictures of me and him always go viral, and people are like, Blaire's friends with someone who hates her. And there's been so many times where I've literally been so tempted to just post a screenshot of just like a text interaction between Alex and I, where he's like, I love you, my wife loves you, you're such an amazing person, like gushing over me. If anything, he likes me a little too much. But then other people that people think are maybe more softcore on social issues are actually like a lot more extremist and a lot more of an issue. So it's always interesting to see like the disconnect that people have. And I'm sure the same would be me looking at people on the left. I might look at people that I feel are more extreme when in reality they're more rational, and vice versa.
I think that one of the hardest things for me learning, I think I've learned this a lot over the past, definitely like five or 6 years, is decoupling people's political beliefs from if they're a good or bad person. Because
Ta-da!
it seems like if you have a certain set of political beliefs, you must be of a certain type of moral character, and you're absolutely not. And,
For sure.
yeah, for a long
If
time,
anything,
I found. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, if anything, a lot of the times what I've learned is that people's purported political beliefs are often just them. What's the fucking word?
Compensating for or trying to mask or hide.
Compensating, overcompensating. There's another word for it, and it's like not even a fucking like niche word.
I love her so much.
It's like they are the exact opposite, if anything.
Sure.
That's what I'm trying to say. You know, it's like the people that go the hardest on the anti-gay stuff on the right. It's like quite a few of them are gay as fuck in real life.
Yeah.
Gordon doesn't like how she.
Yeah, that's
drinks
definitely been
all
a
the
hard
time.
and annoying thing. I'm glad I discovered this more because over the past like 5 or 6 years, I've definitely seen on the left that a lot of these people are really shitty. They're very greedy. They don't. Socialists, they hoard their money, et cetera, et cetera. They treat people like shit, means to an end, and all that. I'm glad that I started making more conservative friends, so that I could find out that you guys are just as fucking horrible behind the scenes. That like everybody's doing cocaine, everybody's trying to rape each other, everybody's just like fucking insane shit. Like, okay, cool. It's just everybody. Because for a while I was always like, fuck, are all leftists like fucking evil and maybe conservatives are right? And then I make more conservative friends. Yeah. Oh, why? Because you have the opposite feeling sometimes. You're like, are all conservatives evil and the leftists are okay? Or
yeah, sometimes I'm like, oh my god, I find myself surrounded by all these like horrific people in real life, and I'm like, not that I'm like fucking ever gonna like switch up my political beliefs based on like the character of other people who also hold my positions, but are they as bad on the left? It's like,
I definitely went through that. I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah. It's just like the world of fuck. There was a really good article. Oh, I wish I could remember who this. It might have been in the Atlantic. I don't remember. But it basically talks about how like people that do politics are very queer when it comes to the average locus of belief in the United States. Like they're way more politically engaged. Their beliefs are way off the norm. Like every part. Like if you choose to go into politics, you are self-selecting for a hyper-specific type of person that is not at all like a normal person. And that's probably like doubly true of online politics. Like it is the craziest, most insane fucking group of people compared to normal people. So you're gonna find like insane and crazy people in this world. Yeah.
Absolutely. And it scales with like the more I find success that they get, it tends to scale and makes them like even fucking crazier. And it's just not a world that I partake in real life very much. You know, I like to sort of like sit here in the comfortability of my house, turn my camera on. Hey, Destiny, let's talk politics. And you know, not saying I wouldn't like get a drink with you or something if you're ever in town or something, but just in general, like I like to keep a healthy barrier. Whereas I think again, there's a misconception that I'm like buddy with like fucking Ben Shapiro and Matt Walsh, and it's like I would never fucking hang out with these people.
Yeah. That's a really interesting one. Just this has nothing to do with politics. Just on a personal level, I go through phases of my life where sometimes it's really cool. If I meet a girl on Tinder, I go hang out or whatever. It's cool to talk to somebody that's just like a total fucking normie. I'm like, tell me about your life. Like, what's going on? Like, this is like, oh, you know, like there's weird shit going on at work. I've got stuff with my friend. Okay, cool. That's interesting to listen to. Sometimes it's nice to feel that like
assholes, Lucy.
But then other times I'll be talking to people and it's like, fuck, like you really have no idea.
Lucy,
like,
did you crochet the hat that you wear?
How am I supposed to explain to you that right now there's a Twitter thread blowing up where like 10,000 people have convinced themselves that I'm a pedophile that wants to give child porn to like you know kitty fuckers? It's like there's no real good way to make you understand that, you know, because like, our world is so fucking weird.
You married
or you know you'll say something, so you know there's 17 Twitter threads and or like a TikTok Reddit post is blowing up about me and they'll be like, oh well, why don't you just like turn off your Twitter or whatever? And it's like, it's not really that easy, but like I know why you would think that. Yeah, so it's very strange trying to have your feet in like both worlds at the same time because everything is so fucking crazy. But sometimes you just want to feel a little more grounded.
That's why I found it really important to find like one, maybe two people that are in that world that you've like vetted super heavily, get to know them on like a really deep level and know they're actually a good person and have them in your life so you can go to them. So for example, my best friend is Michael Malice. I don't know if you know who he is, but he's a sizable podcaster. Yeah, same realm as me.
Oh my god, they
he's
have
really my
famous
only
friends.
legitimate friend in the space because a lot of reasons,
Having
but
a
he
friend.
is. So I go to him. Whereas like most people, like you said, would never understand like, well, actually I'm getting canceled for the 17th time, and no matter how many times it happens, and I remember that I'm always okay afterwards, I'm still wanting to jump off a fucking bridge. And people don't.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's a yeah.
I'm at
There's
that. I'm not making light
yeah,
of it. It must be
something
very
something
difficult
that
to be
is
famous.
a little bit scary / frustrating me is kind of along the same vein. I've spent like the past 5 years arguing, and people constantly say Twitter's not real life. Twitter's not real life. Twitter's not real life. I don't know if you've noticed this, but Twitter is increasingly becoming real life.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
Ooh,
I remember
that's
I think it was like a week and a half ago. Usually whenever I travel, my son lives in Nebraska with his mom, so I try to travel up there anytime I'm going back to hang out with him. And he had they play like NFL flag football games, whatever. But like I'm sitting at the flag football game, and I'm with his mom, we're like hanging out, we're chatting, whatever, and I hear the people next to me. We live in Omaha, Nebraska. Okay, this is not California, it's not fucking Seattle, it's not Oregon, Portland or whatever. I'm in Omaha, Nebraska, and I hear the people next to me start talking about some fucking trans bill or whatever in like another state, and I'm like, fuck me, I literally can never get away from these fucking issues. I'm literally sitting in grass right now.
Well, that's the point. It's all about awareness. People that aren't on Twitter still hear this stuff. So yes, I agree with him.
Yeah, for a long time there was always like, listen, at least it's just Twitter, it's not real life. But I've noticed that like
It's
real life and Twitter
leaking.
are merging.
There's a leak.
significantly, you know?
Dude, I've had so many fucking moments like that. I literally had one. I was sitting in a sauna,
What do you guys think? Do you have experiences like that?
and I had my headphones in, but there were some other people in the sauna, and they were talking really loudly, and I just was like, let me fucking eavesdrop. So I just tapped my shit, muted my music, and I tune in, and the first word I hear, it's gonna sound like fucking bullshit, but the literal first word I hear is non-binary. And they're talking about like some comedian who's non-binary, and like I'm like, that's like a thing. And I'm music going back on. I'm not fucking even dealing with this.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, and that's why oftentimes I think people like to disregard sort of like those viral TikToks that, maybe Live the TikTok will post them and people find them representative of trans people or whatever. And people like, oh, it's just TikTok. It's like, okay, but that is a real person. And the people commenting on are real, and the people sharing it are real. Mm-hmm. And even if the majority of them are like terminally online and you'll never see them in real life, it's like, it does it.
I have a question. I'm getting back here. I have a question. I'm going to create a poll. Okay. Okay, there is a poll for you. I'm not sure exactly how tall he is, but Zero Fucks, really, I'm sure he's got a high following. That's the sizable thing, but I get the joke. Okay. Right. So we actually finished it because I hardly mapped the last little bits, but the point is, we have finished their entire conversation, boys and girls. There's that. Just hold on. I'll just let me stop cam. There we go. I was trying to. Never mind. I should get a different layout without my stupid face in it, but I'll change it for next time. But yeah, this is their entire conversation. And we did get to repeats, but much, much further down in the conversation than in a disagreement. The repeats actually just came many minutes afterwards. Usually in a disagreement, we repeat ourselves within the first few minutes, within the responses. So, interesting. Well done. Look at us. Okay, let's see what the poll is saying. Yes. 73% yes. Okay. That is scary. I don't like that. But it's true. The topics are coming out. What is this real life you speak of? Well, I'm not too sure. Thank you guys for coming down the rabbit hole with me on this conversation. What increasing means? It means it's more. You're hearing more about these issues outside of Twitter than usual. That's it. A very different looking schematic this time. That is true, because it's very orderly, and there's a lot more expansion of ideas. So this, and I say this time around, are you saying it's different to the others? The other parts of this one? I think they just Blaire has less to say, so actually is different. But considering the actual debates, the way it looks different to other debates is that look how much they get to say on each topic. They get to go much. Okay, the resolution of the screen is just not coming through to you guys, but yeah, I'm going to clean it up, put all the colors where they're supposed to do, and then I can do a sort of final video thing. It will be like our prototype final video, to see what you're supposed to do, what a summary video is supposed to look like. That will be my challenge. Instead of going back to the others, I don't know. Anyway, let's check the poll. Yes, still 73. Okay, 11 votes, 13 votes. Okay, everybody in chat. Okay, we've got 15 people. Okay, I can't vote, but 15 people. We need 2 more votes. And then I will end the poll. But I guess everybody, we need 1 more vote. Get it to 14. 69! Hee 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 hee! 13. Okay, I'm going to keep it at 13 votes. Okay. 3, 2, 1, ending poll. 69% said yes. Lol, 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 lol. 69, funny number. Pick a thing, slackers. Ah, their votes don't count. It was fastest fingers first. Anyway, cool. So that's done. Yes, boys. But what I was talking about, let's do something else quickly. It's going to be another mind map. Poll, obviously fake. Oh, it's horrible. Background, change the background. Global fonts, font, branch with colored background color. There we go. Can make it that color. Nah, we want it black. Oh, that's fine. Yeah. Okay. Lucy just got real excited. Oh, you're just picking on Lucy. Okay, so let us discuss debate the future of diagramming. No. Okay, wait. Debate diagram. What will now happen with debate diagram? So what debate diagram is, this is what I'm trying to start to get going in my head for my trailer for my channel, which is still due. Sorry, I've got something on my lip. Was it the berry? Anyway, I meant the entirety of this conversation looks different than the other diagrams you've done. Interesting. I like seeing the overall pattern. The convo gives a different view of the convo. That I think should be part of the summary video that I do. Great. I think you are right. It does make a difference because you can see how much more idea literally visually, whether you read the words or not, you can see how visually more concepts came out when there was disagreement. There was still disagreement. It's just that the way that they engaged, they let the person do all of their talking and then they disagreed afterwards. And actually it turned out that they agreed as well. So it would be interesting to see two people. They do disagree, but they don't hit each other with it. Anyway, this is what I wanted to discuss with you guys. Okay, so what debate diagram is about. Okay, why we do the debate diagram? Okay, strength of arguments, right? Okay, we want to do the strength of the arguments, behavior analysis. What else? Why do we do the debate diagram? Yes, comparison. The debate behavior analysis. Okay, the strength of arguments like tactics. Tactics, logic. Okay, behavior analysis, then it's just, it does still go to tactics, but it's also conversation analysis. Okay, and then also, we also have commentary. Hey, bitch! Okay, so that's why I do it, right? But none of this. Okay, yes, the tactics and logic and with strength of argument, that bit over there. Strength of argument. That is the part that is for debates. When you're done, look at the meme channel and scan through that video. Okay, I shall. I won't be much longer. So that's my why, okay, for this, and I'm trying to move the diagram on this page. It's funny. But that doesn't mean that this part, diagram, it doesn't have to be a debate for it to be diagrammed. So it's actually going to now turn into, I'm going to branch out into, well, I don't know, just Dawn diagram. I don't know, we'll come up with a name. Okay, Dawn diagrams. And one of them I was going to do was literally subtopic, as in submersible. Okay, the submersible issue. Okay, actually, no, it wasn't an issue, but story. Okay, then we also want to do Wheel of Time. We can diagram anything, and we can still get the commentary out of it. We can still get the behavior analysis out of it. We can still get conversation analysis whenever there's a conversation. We don't, the logic and the tactics obviously in terms of strength of arguments, people, whenever they're making content and giving their opinions, they are still giving arguments. So it's okay. We don't have to have the debate bit, and there's still so much juiciness. So we're going to have a DD and a DD, debate diagram and Dawn diagrams. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Mind blown. Yes, thank you. So I think that's what I'm doing. Okay, I think I want to. I can do some joke ones as well. There's some joke ones that I can do. The most fun that we've had have been some of the palate cleanser debates. Yeah. So that's what's coming up next. I think this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a diagram basically for my, I'm going to record it like something like this for my trailer, my thingy trailer. You guys won't see it because it's not for returning subscribers, but oh shit, I forgot!
Go and subscribe, you shit.
Anyway, let's go and get the Discord out. Okay, so I'll just stop this here while I get the Discord. I'll have to unsub to see it. Yeah, sure. No, it'll be done. Eho? Eho, what are you saying? Echo. Oh, interesting. There. I've muted my screen. So I don't know, the echo should stop. Sorry if it hasn't. Okay, memes. Oh, mums make porn. Meanwhile, in another timeline. Sorry, hold on. Yeah. That video is fire. Scan through it. So yes, that's me. I am a nun. We heard go and subscribe with an echo. Oh, okay, because of the well, that's cool. It was epic. Wait, you're saying go and that darn nun. Video's fire. Scan through it. So I scanned through it. Oh my god. Oh my gosh, this commentator guy sounds like the just an altered voice from the it's yeah, it sounds like the guy from Come Down With Me. That was a good show. If it is age restricted, my stream is age restricted. I think. Either way, ooh, Nerdrotic is live. Anyway, don't worry. I will. What is that? This is what we're watching on Thursday when you arrive. I'll have a mask or something that we can watch with. Now we can't hear the video. That's good. It's because I muted this because of the echo thing.
An outraged, neurotic feminist single mum, Sarah, a gobby, large and in charge mum of 6, Sarah
Sounds
Louise.
like the Come Down With Me guy. Age restricted video based on community guidelines. Anyway, yeah, we are age restricted in any case. But that darn nun is going. We don't have to keep going for the last hour, actually, boys and girls. Maybe we just finished. We finished early for the first time in his story. We finished before time. So this is what we'll be talking about on Thursday, Hydra, and this will be and 1776. She'll also be watching that, but I think we can also map some show Sphinx. Oh yes. Sorry, I showed that to my husband. He was like, "What the fuck?" Where is the AI? Where is AI art channel? There you go. I like it. He liked the boobs on it. Oh yeah. I like it. I like it a lot. Hey. I dig the yeah, Gordon's like nice boobs, but then he's like, who's making these things of my wife? And I'm just like, it's AI. What do you want? And that's the natural state of woman. So let the breasts hang. It's the only time it's gonna happen. I like the bell. I do too. I really do. I dig it. I really do. I suppose if I was furious, that would be the idea. I like the way it did you put the ears on the top just in case? Because it's weird the way it put them in. But I like how it kept my face. Because I tried to make something similar, not similar like this, but like I tried AI art with my profile picture so that I didn't have to have my stupid face exactly like that as my profile picture. But it never kept my facial features that you can recognize. It's a little bit like me. It's like a anime version of me or something like that. Obviously not the boob part, but I'm talking about the face. You can see the origin of the thing. I look like completely different. Anyway, I actually spent several hours trying to cover them up. Sorry, Gordon. The boobs. No, it's not often we see me with boobs. So a new profile one in a second. Oh, okay. Let's see. Boobs. Let's see at the other fan art. Not fan art. I mean AI art. Yeah. The chick. You guys haven't seen all of it. I wish I could open like the whole album as slides for you. But this is close enough. You can see. It's big enough. There is C. Paffy's Nightmare. Yeah. I actually had a dream like this. Oh my god, I did. But it was cockroaches instead. And they were on my fingernails. I remember that. Oh, it was horrid. I'm not looking at this again anytime soon. And then Lady Cameron was going to do a whole video, but then had to stop. I like this one. The fingers actually are pretty good for this one. Very well done. Now I don't know if art is... Oh, she's like cute. Oh, she's so cute. And she's got boo. You can see she's a little bit chubby, actually. It doesn't look too enough like me, but I can see that it's taken me. Like, you guys would be like, who the fuck is that? She's got a button nose. This bitch of a nose is not a button nose, okay? It's a fucking log. It's a tree log. That Don 50s kitty. Exactly! I can make a big game, but it's take a while. No, you don't have to make a big one. Hold still. I'll screenshot and make another. No. Very cool. I'll send another photo or something. I don't know. I'll ask for consultation. Anyway, you can pause it, but also the quality that you would get from say it. I didn't want to say it, but she's got a few LBs. She's got a bit of an area going on. I say LBs. That's how I read it in my head. Pounds. I don't. Yeah. Anyway. She's cute though. And she got earrings. Anyway. Cool, guys. I think it's time for bed. But a reminder of the stream for yeah, in this case channel on Thursday we are on the Batman. I'm going to be on the Batman podcast. Go and like the stream and join. It will be on Thursday morning for me. Here are twigs that doesn't fit. Yeah, it doesn't fit. Yeah, it will be on Thursday morning for me. Wednesday night for you guys, I suppose. So I'm waking up very early for this stream, and it's a one-on-one with MSK. Submersible kitty. Imploded. Okay, anyway. Oh yes, and then yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing. That sort of kink stuff is kink. We're gonna discuss kink, etc. I think that's what it'll be. The name will be. Also, what is Andrew? Andrew's tomorrow. Andrew returns. He's back. I saw. Yeah, wait. Is patterns of behavior saying what is a centrist? Tomorrow, guys, at 7:30. So that is a good question, boys and girls. Oh God, I'm not sharing my screen. I do this all the time at work. Yeah. Notification on. Let's go, boys. Yee! Okay. So, if you haven't subscribed to Andrew Clark, go on ahead, and he's live in 20 hours, 8 of which I need to sleep. So, well, I love that you've used the centrist meme as a thumbnail. Very good. Sounds like you're visiting the Titanic. Oh, did I go sound underwater again? StreamYard decided to live underwater. It's because I unmuted and muted. What about this? Am I back? 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 Unmute myself. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Under the sea. Still bad. I want to say goodbye on a good note. Am I still underwater? Maybe if I cover it up with a mask. Still in the water. Oh, back. Back. It is bad. We have this civil rights agent. Hi. Yeah. It's been fun, guys. I will be trying to do some sort of summary video about this kid, but I know that you guys are on hold for your break, and that's okay. I might do the submarine one before this weekend, or before the summary video of Blaire and Destiny debating. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna download the 3 streams and chop them up and add some more commentary. Oh, all things that just happened. Anyway, I've really enjoyed your guys' company as usual. Thank you for your commentary. Thank you for your memes, and thank you for your jokes. And we will see you on Thursday for Thinkers. And yeah, I'll see you on Tuesday stream, because I'll probably still be awake for such an item. I'm gonna clean up my apartment a little bit, and then maybe I'll see you there. I'll have to wait until there's 69 likes on the video, and then I can go to sleep. Oh God, that doesn't make sense. Oh, that's not good. I have 12-year-old boys. Have a nice life, and okay, thanks, bye. But also, don't forget.
Go and subscribe, you shit.
Okay, thanks, bye.